to Brawlhalla.
Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is That Jerry Boy, and alongside me we have Triz here. We are doing the Spring Championship 2v2 for Australia. And Triz, how are you doing, my man? It is good to be casting alongside you today.
Hello, my friend. It is very good to be here, and thank you for the warm welcome, my guy. I'm excited to be here. I've wanted to do some casting for twos for a long time, and here we are in the Spring Championships. So let's get it. Let's get it down.
Yeah, we've got some very exciting action first up, and it is a very for the first match that we have. It is a very strong contender. It is Hipka and Vey up against
Wow.
Doggo and Raigundas. Now, Hipka and Vey, obviously, they've won the last 2-3 tournaments together.
Yeah.
Obviously the double Orion, double Spear, double Hattori, double Bryn, whatever they pull out, they're playing the same character, usually using the same loadout as well, and they're doing
Yeah.
very, very well because of it. Their synergy at the moment has been on top. And as well, on the other side of the corner, Doggo and Raigundas, obviously. Doggo formerly teaming with Elsum last year, the years beforehand. And Doggo and Elsum, when they were running the 2v2 scene, they were running it. But now it's Hipka and Vey's turn in their era. And but now it's interesting because Doggo and Raigundas, they've teamed at BCX. They have the synergy. They have the synergy. And it's interesting to see their selections at the moment. It is Vey and Hipka on that double Orion, as well as it looks like Doggo's on the Sidra, and we have Raigundas on that Hattori. So this will be a really interesting match to have first up, honestly.
Here we go. This looks dope already. I'm very excited for this. I'm not sure which way it's going to go, but I think it just depends on how stage control goes as far as like Orions, because their lance stage controls can be devastating if used correctly. But at the same time, you've got Sidra with her cannon and those SIGs, and obviously Hattori, such a staple in this game, and how good as a character she is, with her sword and her spear. She's just able to create mayhem and have great combinations with the character they play with, no matter who they play with. So I'm excited for this one, and I'm ready. I'm ready for this one to go. So let's get it going. We're about to start right now.
It's interesting to see Doggo on the Sidra, because cannon, not really something that you see a lot of people using nowadays, especially in the Australian region. Cannon is a bit of a rarity. Like, I've seen more greatsword in twos than I have cannon. And it's a really interesting staple to see, but I'll be interested to see how it goes. Will Doggo be using a lot more of the cannon? But hold up, Raigundas has been taken out on the side by Vey. The Spear Ensig is launching him downtown, sending him all the way to Brazil, that one. And now this red team has an advantage already in game one, and it's not even been 20-30 seconds.
But I mean, that's what happens. That's the power of it, I guess. That's the power of the cannon. That is the power of these two Orion characters. That's what I'm saying. Their stage control is just immaculate if they use it properly. And here they are, already showing how powerful Orion SIGs are and how much coverage they have. And you can get away with a lot of work, especially in twos.
Yeah, that's a nice nair there by Doggo on the cannon. That'll take out Hipka. So the stocks are even, but there is a bit of a damage deficit between Doggo and Raigundas. Raigundas, on his second stock in an orange, and Doggo just leading into the red now with his first. But it's if this red team can cause a little bit of disdain, which they might have any chance to now. Raigundas having to do a quick little 1v2 before Doggo respawns back. But yeah, at the moment, if this red team can manage to put a lot more damage onto Raigundas here, then they have a bit of a chance to put Doggo into an early 1v2. and then sort it out from there. But that is a nice confirm on the cannon there. That's going to get the KO onto Vey. Hipka has been put out to the side. Vey's going to try and get the save. He does! Oh my goodness, was in the way immediately. Just stopping that ground pound, just hitting onto the stage. So Raigundas survives for another day. And Hipka's stock already, he was on his first stock, and now he's on his last for the first game, and so is Raigundas.
Yo, and suddenly this game is even. How all that momentum that they had in the game has suddenly just dissipated. It's so even all of a sudden across the board. Checkerboard pattern coming across, as you can see. Dogo's again with the down save coming through very strong. But you know, you can see that the two sides that are looking to be taken out, well, right now is Raigundas.
Yeah, Raigundas is not looking good there. He's almost got hit by that spear Ensig again by Vey. And now they both have the juggle onto Raigundas. He's trying to keep himself in the air, trying to make sure that he doesn't get hit by these spear recoveries. But now he's getting sent out to the side. Doggo's trying to regain the center to try and help his teammate. Gets the follow-up, but Hipka with a good punish. Doggo does make it back. Raigundas in a bit of strife here, almost getting hit by that spear ground pound, but he is going to get hit by that spear dancing instead. And now Doggo has to do a 1v2. He does have an extra stock in hand, but it's not going to be the most amount of help, especially against Hipka and Vey. They have a lot of practice in this 2v1 scenario. He does get the stock off of Vey though. He now has a chance to try and 1v1 Hipka. Vey does come back though, both of them on the lance. Doggo trying to get these nairs, does try and get that GCN light, but Hipka manages to be sharp enough to get that punish in time. Now both of them on to the double spear. Expect a team combo coming out. Yeah, they just keep Doggo away from a weapon. They really, there's more weapon starving here from Doggo. If he doesn't have a weapon, there isn't a lot that he's going to be able to do against these two. It's, at the moment, it's just trying to get that chip damage.
They're not managed to find the team combos. That's just because of great movement from Doggo right now, and just trying to stay away from the middle.
Team combo!
He gets caught. Oh, as I say it, the commentator's class, and as I say it comes out. It literally comes out. Wow.
Clean first team combo in game one coming out from Hipka and Vey. And they've put Doggo and Raigundas on the back foot. That was a glorious team combo. I'm going to be honest. It was a good way to finish off game one. And
that was like saying, we're here and we know what we're going to do when we get into this position. And it's very good.
Yeah, at the moment it looks like they were going to lock in that double Orion. They've just deselected for now. Have this red team of Hipka and Vey. Doggo and Raigundas still managing to, keep the same. And there's the swap. They're going the double Barbara, which mirrors the abilities of Bryn. So they're keeping the spear that they've come to know for, but they've swapped their lance for an axe, which is a little bit interesting. Obviously, they're not going to be able to, fall around and get the floating stairs that they could on the lance, but with an axe, you're going to be able to do a lot more damage on a more vertical scale. And especially with, the three weapons that this blue team have, they don't exactly have natural anti-airs. You could probably argue the N6, but against a down air on axe, even though a down air on axe, probably a bit slower than other weapons, it's still going to be quick enough to beat out a decent amount of signatures if it's spaced well. So it'll be interesting how to see. There is a map change as well. We're going to APOC here instead of a small Fortress of Lions, which was the
3 o'clock and everyone's always in trouble. Yeah. And I find it really interesting when people win and swap. I find that a really interesting tactic to say, don't get comfortable with what we picked, we're going to change it up for you. Pick a character, we're going to stay the same character, but the only disadvantage is that your opposition has less SIGs to worry about. There's only 6 SIGs for them to worry about instead of there potentially being 12.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see that there isn't a whole lot of SIG usage at the moment. Team combo, the side SIG, nice weapon throw there from Hipka. That probably would have stopped. If he didn't use that weapon throw, Doggo would have surely followed up with a potential N-Sig, which may have resulted in that KO. But, Hipka is the first to lose a stock. That side SIG very nicely dodged. Raigundas only keep managing to hit his teammate. That sort of recovery, not enough to get Vey out just yet, but the Ensig on the sword will.
Lovely.
The Kraken coming out here. And now this red team is on the back foot after swapping on Win. Well, that's a nice Ensig.
Wow, the double Ensig, not quite one. Come for the down air. Oh, the way. Oh, you managed the way out. I don't know how he survived. He can't survive this one. No way. There's absolutely no way that Raigunda should have survived that. But got away with it twice on the edge. He's now using that extra stock to get all the damage that they can.
Yeah, they've sent Raigundas out to the side here, which they now try and focus on Doggo. Oh, that down sig managing to hit Vey, doesn't space it quite right. That was a nice follow-up team combo coming out, but Raigundas puts a stop to it, and it's actually sent Hipka out to the side. Save coming in from Vey, but Doggo gets the side air. Hipka just wanting to fast fall instead. Nice downlight into the side air there by Doggo on the sword. So now they are leading 5 stocks to 2 here in this second game.
And I think that all culminated from, you know, them not quite finishing off those stocks when they had the opportunity while they were on the side. While blue team was on the side, they had those opportunities to take advantage of, that stock pattern that happens when one person goes down a stock and the other person survives. You normally try to target the person with 2 stocks. They didn't really find that target very well. And as you can see, as a result, they're really balancing out and they're taking their opponents out one piece by piece because they have that time.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of axe noises, and a lot of them are coming from Hipka right now, but it's now 4 stocks to 2, and this red team, they might be able to get the KOs onto this blue team soon, but they got to be careful not to get KO'd themselves. And speaking of KOs, there goes Hipka, there goes Doggo. Vey's on his last stock in the red. Get down my recovery, that's going to get the KO. Yeah, and it's now 1-1, so Doggo and Raigundas, just that I imagined they have put up a fight. Now we're seeing the swap back to the Orion from Hipka and Vey. So, you know, I don't know, Hipka and Vey, they have such good synergy that they just speak in one mind. It's just, they play the same characters, they play the same in terms of their habits, in terms of their movement. Their team combos are insane, and we're seeing that we saw that in the first game with Orion, but we've also seen that Doggo and Raigundas, they know how to fight back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here in game 3.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Yeah, it's this map seems to definitely be one of the more loved in the 2v2 scene, because, you know, it's the larger KO boxes out on the ceiling, and as well as the floor and the wall. There's not as much space to be able to run around, and there is also a moving platform there for the safety. But and not only that, but it's whoa, that's a nice side sig there from Vey. But sent Doggo out to the side, and they've picked apart this blue team now. Just sent them into different directions. That's a nice recovery there from Raigundas. He used that 1v2 space wisely. That was a nice sidelight there on Doggo, just stopping that downlight stab, which would have resulted in that KO. But there's a ground pound. Does Raigundas have enough to make it back as Doggo is being occupied? There's another ground pound. Now they have a 1v2 opportunity with Doggo trying to build up as much damage as they can. They've already put him into the amber before Hipka gets sent off to the top of the stage. Yeah, side air again. Doggo doesn't have much. He does get the recovery, would bring him back to stage. Doesn't have anything that he could use to try and hit Vey there. And this red team is doing really well at just making sure that Raigundas and Doggo aren't anywhere near each other. Send one person off to the side of the stage, just do a quick bit of damage onto the person that is on stage. And it's what they've been managing to do really well. The spear and the lance is doing such a good job of just, turning a team into just 2 players. which you know, it's 2v2. It is a team for a reason. And if you can't use your team as a team, then what does that mean? Yeah, they have this 1v2 opportunity. Oh no, that NSIG barely missing. Oh, there goes. Yeah, they take. Yeah, that team combo that was happening onto Doggo just missed out, and then Raigundas and Doggo managed to take up 2 of their stocks, and now it's an even count as long as Doggo can manage to hold on. He takes out base recovery, and Hipka isn't going to be able to save him in time. Raigundas really held him off to the edge there, and now Hipka has to 1v2. A missed follow-up opportunity has resulted in a 1v2 for this red team, and they have to sort this out quickly. Hipka, he's kept himself onto the side, and now he's going to have to try and work his way back. If he can get the KO onto Doggo, that recovery isn't going to be enough to do it. Try to find a second one, but Doggo manages to evade it quite nicely. And now it is, oh, that down sig barely missing. Nice down sig, and now Doggo and Raigundas are 2-1 up. Yeah, no swaps as of just yet. And we've left open with Miami Dome, Apocalypse, and Demon Island most likely going to go to Apocalypse. But it was interesting because Doggo had maybe accidentally locked in the Bryn. But, you know, he opted to go back, swap down to the Sidra. And it's interesting to see that, you know, he was thinking about the Bryn for a little bit, but Sidra it is. Game 4, if Doggo and Raigundas take it from here, they, if they could win this next game, then they put themselves into winners semifinals in the top 8.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Against Hipka and Vey, mind you. A team that has won 3 2v2 majors in a row.
Yeah, and they won the last tournament at the Winters as well, and so they're proving to be the team to beat. So yeah, this is it.
Oh, nice down sig. Oh, try to get that end sig there. Ooh, a little bit of an interesting interaction there happening off the stage. Both of the red teams diving to try and get those ground pounds, but none of them landing on Doggo. There is a lot of damage. Oh, my goodness, is sent off. He has a recovery left. Doggo does get the save, though. Vey had nothing, but Doggo opted to not go for the attack. The side sig on the spear is going to take out Vey. A 1v2 opportunity now onto Hipka before Vey comes back. And now he does manage to come back. Oh, that's a nice ground pound there. And stocks are even. And almost damages as well.
Gosh. Okay. So they're both on the side. It's even. It is quite even. The damage is a little bit split, but it is quite even in terms of the stock. But God, just like that, the double recovery, every spear player's dream happened in front of our eyes. And again, I think Vey and Hipka have realized they need to work with each other a lot better than they have been in the past. Oh, the neutral stick coming out, but they didn't go for the return. I thought they were both going to go return. They were both up in the sky with there, but not quite.
Yeah,
somehow
it's interesting now that Doggo and Raigundas, especially after game 1, you know, where and even parts of game 3 where they were, you know, getting split off a little bit by this double Orion. And now they're managing to, you know, not work a little bit more as a team, but just avoid the hits that would, you know, cause the two teams to split. But Vay getting a double recovery again.
Oh, again, missed. Oh, gosh, I missed the team combo again. I wonder if that is going to be detrimental to their progress again. I hope not, but we will see. Because they're just slightly off, just slightly, and it's just the finishing move that seems to be missing. That's all.
That's all it is, really. Raigunda's trying to get that recovery onto Vay, but he manages to avoid and get that lance side air. Now both of these red team members have the double lance in hand. They're going to be able to control a lot of space with it should they need to. Raigunda's getting a nice follow-up onto Hipka. Vay accidentally hitting his own teammate as well. So a little bit of a misfortune as Doggo gets sent off to the side. And he's on his last stock. He does manage to get the wall touch with that unarmed down air, though. And he's got to really try and avoid a lot of mishaps here for him to not get put into the 1v2. There goes Vay. And now Hipka's kept himself onto the wall. Raigundas gets KO'd, but so does Hipka. Stocks are all even, but this could turn into a 1v2 opportunity really soon.
I think Raigundas has to prioritize keeping Doggo alive right now, but took so much damage because of that.
Yeah, now Raigundas has been put into the orange as well. It's not going to take much for Doggo's stock to fly. Yeah, speaking of flying, there's the spear side air. And now they have to do this 1v2.
Oh, weapon toss after the neutral light was lovely. My goodness, she's got to find a few entries in, hit and run style kind of play right now. But it's doing really well maneuvering all of their moves, getting through their signatures, hitting with the moves that can be afford to hit with. Oh, not quite.
Yeah, we got a game 5 on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
I called it, man. I knew it was coming just because I felt like they understood what was needed to turn this game around. I just want to know where they're going to go for the last game. That is what I'm thinking. Are they going to switch it up? Are they going to say, listen, we need to keep this map different, keep this map afloat so that we can find a new way to win this game? And that goes for both teams, both red and blue teams. So I'm very interested to see how this ends up. And if there's any character swaps, there is none at all. Back with the same characters. We got Doggo taking out Small Enigma and Miami Dome at this moment. So they will not be playing there. Just giving it a few moments to wait and see. Again, Western Air Temple is gone.
Yeah, just leaving open Apox again, which is probably where we're going to end up going to. Yep.
You called it. Nice.
Apox it is.
And here we are. Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. We have Vay and Hypecar on the Orion. Still Doggo on the Sidra. And Raigundas on the Hattori. Here we go. Game 5. Let's get it.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting to see if Raigundas and Doggo can manage to try and not keep themselves split apart, because this double spear and especially the double lance is going to be able to it's controlling the space, and we're seeing it at the moment that Raigundas and Doggo have already been kept away from each other, and now they have to work their way back from here.
But as you can see, though, they're trying to find a way. They're sort of using the stage, saying we're not gonna come off stage right now. We've got stage control. Let's keep it. And I think that's very smart as a team, and using that stage control well. Hits with the down stage.
Yeah, nice punish from Vay, and Doggo didn't end up touching because of that. And now they have the opportunity on Raigundas. He doesn't have many options left. He does get the touch, though, onto the stage.
Yep.
Trying to charge that down, saying, oh, Hipka does actually get KO'd by that cannonair. Really, I was surprised that ended up KOing, in all fairness.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? They will not care, and they will take that to a team.
Oh,
here's a team combo. Can they make it work? Can they make it run?
Oh, my days! Hipka's gone from that! A KO onto Hipka, an amazing team combo coming out from Doggo and Raigundas. And now it is 5 stocks to 3. They have an advantage here against the Australian champions.
Let's see if they can put it to the test. Let's see if they can keep it going, because that team combo was, we have it too. You may work together, but we work together just as well. And that is a great reply. And let's see, I think, you know, their win condition now is just simply just take out Hypeka and just work for the 1v2.
Yeah, there goes Doggo, but, well, there goes Ragundas. He's just been put onto his second stock.
But
Doggo's going to have to play a little bit more cautiously because he might, you know, be inept for a team combo or potentially just an early KO.
No.
Has
Oh,
been put
good
into the red
save.
there. Nice save by Ragundas with that Spear Snare, making sure that Hypeka wasn't going to be able to get that true follow-up. And now Vey has also been put into the red. So this could become even very quickly if this blue team is not careful. Doggo has been sent down with a ground pound. We have an even game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Nice follow-up there from Vey. Ragundas is going to have to make his way back. And he does, inevitably. This is an even game at the moment. This red team has really managed to pull it back. Downlight recovery onto Vey is going to get the knockout. Now they have an opportunity onto Hypeka.
Can they make it work? What I will say is that Hypeka has been very, very smart. As soon as they went onto their last stop, they said, I'm not getting hit. And it's proved to be so effective because now the game is even and there is a chance that it can go either way now. And I think that's down to how you know, smart Hypeka was with that last stop and said, let's not get hit. Let's just survive out. We can slow this game down and catch back up again. And they have.
Yeah, now if this red team can manage to just try and get the chip damage, try and control the space as right. Oh, no, they hit both of them! Doggo doesn't get the touch and now they have a 1v2! This double-sided DI and now Ragundas is gonna have to make his way back!
Oh my god.
Down
How
air!
the game turned on its head so quickly.
Oh,
the
recovery not enough just yet! Trying to get the haymaker, now Ragundas has to get this 1v2. They're trying to keep the weapon away from him. Does manage to avoid that landside air, try to get the dodge. Vage can't get that follow-up quite right just yet. Try to get that spear side sig. Ragundas can't avoid the Sarah Bay and Hypeka. They take game 5 in dramatic fashion.
Wow. GG's all around, guys. Honestly. GG's all around.
That was an intense game. Hypeka and Vey, they put themselves into the winner's top 8 side. Yeah. And it seems as if Doggo and Ragundas has been sent down into the loser side of the bracket. But now our next match, ladies and gentlemen, it is Fi and Shadow up against Asmodee and Chair. Asmodee and Chair. This is a new team. I've been watching them, you know, in the ranked 2s queue, and they've been doing really well. And Shadow and Fire, this isn't a team that they're not familiar with. Shadow and Fire, also a relatively new team. They played in Winters. They came 5th, I believe. And Shadow and Fire, it's an interesting composition that they have at the moment. Usually Shadow will go something like the Olgrim or the Hattori. Fi, you know, I've seen him on Koji, I've seen him on Cross, but we have the Sir Roland coming from him, so it's double Lance, and Asmodee and Chair, or Beware of Chair, it's the Zariel and the Barraza. So, you know, the Zariel Barraza, this is a team composition from Asmodee and Chair that they've practiced. They have multiple wins in ranked as of right now. Which
my only experience, sorry to cut you off, man. I'm just saying my only experience with Asmodee and Chair would be actually from casting them in the ones. Obviously, Asmodee is always coming through and taking it by storm, and I've seen Chair come second in the last one that I did as well. And so it's interesting to see them partnered up to see how far they can go as a unit. I'm very, very interested to see that.
Yeah, this Asmodee and Chair in the ranked 2v2s, they have 427 wins with each other. They are the 4th highest team in ranked 2v2s in the Australian region. And it's interesting to see how they're going to be able to come about. There is already a lot of damage onto Asmodee, which they're trying to get this team combo happening. That Gauntlet Emlight wasn't managing to hit. The Axe Emlight sent a little bit too far. At the moment, there is a little bit of a damage lead to this blue team right now. They're gonna have to try and work their way back. Nice GCM light, avoiding that Lance side air. Chair accidentally hits his own teammate. But this red team, they're gonna try and be. They have brought it back a little bit. That axe recovering.
The
ground
pound was not
Chair?
necessary. It was not necessary. It was just mean. That was actually just horrible. But we love to see. We love a team combo whenever you can get it. But yeah, the quick reply.
Australian 2v2s, especially since last year, ever since, you know, Hippo and Vey, you know, grinded out, they got really good at 2s. And now,
here we go, team combo.
And, oh no, team combo. Ooh, they've built a lot of damage up onto his Modi. This blue team is so team combo heavy. The synergy is impeccable from these two. But this red team, they're going to try and work their way back. They have to face against the double lance. Beware of Chair has been sent out away from the side. But this is an interesting scenario that is happening at the moment. Chair trying to get this edge guard onto Fi, but Fi manages to fade himself away. Downlight Sair. Now both of these red team members are in a little bit of strife at the moment. That Downlight recovery not enough to get the KO onto his Modi just yet. Trying to find the signatures here, but not enough.
What a read from Shadow.
Get that Lance side
what a read from Shadow. I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah, nice axe.
The team
combo.
Lovely.
That is enough to get the KO. And as Modi gets the ground pound follow up from that as well. Excuse me.
How on earth is your brain and button and your fingers moving that quickly needs to be like, yeah, I'm gonna ground pound straight after doing that. Yeah, fantastic. I'm absolutely here for it. And this is it. And this is how a 2v2 can change in the blink of an eye. All of a sudden, the momentum is all with the red team. Can they find the KOs that they need before? I believe that if Chair goes now, I think the blue team have the team combos to then put the pressure on Asmodi. And I think that's what they're looking for.
Chair almost getting KO'd with that Lance side air, but you know
that
the Brawlhalla has enough defense.
Here we go.
Not this time as Modi trying to avoid this 1v2. She has the movement for it.
Nice.
She's avoided it quite nicely so far, actually. And now Chair has managed to make his way back. That bow side air. Oh no, the side sig gets punished. Shadow trying to get the edge guard, but dodge through the end sig. There goes Shadow team combo.
My
gosh.
I don't understand. It's not necessary. The side sig from Brawlhalla was just not necessary then, and I love it. I absolutely love it because you know the neutral sig from Zariel was definitely taking them out, but they said, you know what, just to make it fancy, clip it, get that side sig in, and I'm here for it. Listen, they are dangerous. Beware of Asmodi. Yes, I will not take any credit for that. Thank you, Kyler. But yes, beware of Asmodi because that is crazy right there.
Look, I'm hoping that, you know, this side stream gets itself onto like a top 10 plays for Springs, because oh my word, have we had in the first 6 games, we have had already so much happen.
And this is what I love about this game so much.
Yeah, we've already had so much happen in these first, you know, 6 games, and I'm hoping this 7th one of the night is gonna, you know, be able to cook up a storm as Modi try to get that follow-up onto Shadow, but, you know, just wasn't meant to be. Or team combo. Oh no, just missing that end sig there. That's a nice side sig there by Asmodi, trying to send fire up to the sky, but he manages to land himself back down. He had a safety parachute. Yeah, you gotta be aware of that.
As you can see, as they've won that last game, Asmodi and Chair have now really kept that momentum going. Kind of sort of found their groove within this game, and who does what and who sets up what and what moves are going to be coming next. And I think that's very important for this 2v2 team because they have found their rhythm, and that's dangerous for Fire and Shadow right now. But nice hit with the side sig.
Yeah, the haymaker coming out. Oh, nice recovery on the gauntlets by Asmodi. Okay, Shadow.
What? Where's that? Where's that down sig? Shadow, where's that down sig? Come on. Oh.
Yeah, they're trying to get this KO onto Shadow, which Chair has been sent out to the side. Asmodi trying to use the bow to, you know, pick apart, but you know, they now have a 1v2 opportunity. They're keeping the weapons away. It's not going to take much for Shadow to get KO'd now, but look at the damage. Yeah, it doesn't take much at all. Look at this. Yeah, you can see that there's a lot of damage been built up onto Fi, which in reality might hurt their chances of, you know, trying to not get 1v2'd. Which there isn't a lot of damage onto Asmodee, but it is building up. It's building up onto Chair as well. He's been put into the red. Nice team combo coming out from this blue team. And now Asmodee and Chair, they have to try and work their way back. The axe side air, not enough to get the KO just yet. As Chair swapping over to the blasters. Oh, the blaster recovering, just barely missing. That would have for sure gotten the KO. Nice bow recovery. That's going to actually knock out Fi. Double Lance side air, hitting both of them. Asmodee gets hit as well, and the Lance recovery. Shadow just doing the janitor clean, sweeping them up right now.
And you know, Shadow is going, we are not losing this game. Single-handedly, I will win this game if I have to. And Fi's just like, yeah, you know what, bro? If you want to do that, I got you. I will back you up as much as I can. But I'm finding that what's happening in this game is who can get their team combos out first, who can get that first neutral on the ground and say set up, and we'll carry on from there. It's got to be done. Oh, survived again.
Shadow make his way back.
Come with a taunt.
Oh no, ends up hitting his her own teammate. Yeah, there's a lot of damage being built up onto Chair and Fi as well. Oh, that's a nice bow side air. That's surely gotten rid of Shadow, but no, he has Lance. He makes his way back. Oh no, there goes Chair. There goes Shadow. Asmodee has to try and get this 1v1 between her and Fi now to try and level this up, but now it's a 1v2, and now there's a team combo coming out from this blue team. Asmodee doesn't have a lot of chances left in her to try and get this sorted. She gets Lance side air. She has a dodge left, manages to make the way back, avoids the N6 from both parties. There's an N6 from Asmodee. It's gonna get the KO. She's trying to get the huge read. She does have the 1v1 opportunity. Lance side air, that's gonna take it for Shadow and Fi. 1-1 in the set. Shadow doing all 6 KOs for blue team. 719 damage. Excuse me, Shadow.
Shadow said, listen, you know about Sonic, but you know about Shadow. Yeah? You know about Shadow. Chaos Emeralds came out and said, listen, Chaos Control, I'm going to take out everybody. That's the way it is. I love to see it. Love to see it. But now we're here for game 3. Same characters. Nothing's changed. And we're back for this game 3. I cannot tell you which way it's going to go. It just depends on who's going to get those team combos out first and who's going to find those neutral hits straight back on Apocalypse. It's 3 o'clock. It's demon time. Let's go.
Yeah, 1-1 apiece at the moment. So both teams, they have shown that, you know, they can take the wins off each other, but it's going to be a very tight, you know, game 3 if they are able to try and build the damage, try and get the team combo sorted, or they try to get the damage there onto Fi, but just ended up missing out there instead. It's damage is even at the moment within the first, you know, 20-30 seconds. There is a bit more damage onto Shadow now, but probably nothing to be hugely worried about for now. That was a nice read there by Chair. Accidentally ends up hitting their own teammate. Does get a little bit of a follow-up. Shadow trying to make his way back. GC N6 from Asmodee not hitting. The blaster recovery will, but it's not enough to get the KO just yet. Downsig hitting his teammate as well as Chair, but trying to use another D-Sig. Nice work from Chair. Yeah, still not enough. The roller defense really helping out there. The side air. KOs galore right now. Asmodee getting away from that axe down Sig. And now Shadow trying to make his way back onto stage. He is heavily damaged, but this Ulgrim defense really coming in handy. Finally gets KO'd with that side air. And now Fi has to try and, you know, not get caught up in a team combo from these two just of yet.
Wow, and
now Asmodee she is still on her first stock, and she's doing really well to try and hold on to it. She's not getting hit by any amount of Lance side airs. Tries to get that GC down but couldn't quite find it just yet. Shadow and Fire, they're trying to, you know, hopefully build up some damage onto Chair, so it would lead into potentially a quicker 2v1 as Chair is on his last stock. And now Shadow and Fi, they have to work their way back from here. Downlight recovery on the sword is going to get rid of Asmodee. It's going to put her on her second stock now. Chair is going to have to avoid a lot of attacks here to try and keep himself alive and, you know, hope to not get caught in a 1v2 situation as the boat now sends Fi up.
I'm finding this match a lot stranger than the others because every match has started with, you know, we're going to go for hit, trade for trade and see how we get on. And as they get down to the business, the last couple stocks, they start bringing out the team combos. But at this moment in time, Asmodee's gone, you know what? If Shadow can do all of that damage, I can do all that damage too, and I'm going to take this team apart. And what I found is that Asmodee's been using the bow to almost split the team up so that Chair has the ability to at least survive and run around with that axe and get as much damage as possible. But Chair is in danger of going out very quickly with that red on that last stock, but using the side very well, using those side airs and just not rushing into too many attacks and finding those little sparing hits. Just can't really afford to go for anything too big. But it's working, getting side airs and look, and as I say,
nice damage from the Asmodee gauntlets. And Chair really using that platform to just try and stay away from any stray hits that might come about. He does get hit by the axe side air there of Shadow. And now Asmodee has to try and convert another 1v2 again. She does have a bit more health compared, but that down sig not enough to get the KO just yet. Asmodee trying to work her way back onto the stage. She does manage to do so successfully. Does get hit by the downlight recovery. And now Asmodee is on her last stock. She has to get the 1v2. There is a decent amount of damage onto this blue team, however. And Asmodee does have a chance to potentially, you know, split them apart with a couple Zariel Sigs. They're very effective, especially the bow Sigs. All of them have the ability to spike, send them downstage. Asmodee getting a bow side air. Oh, nice. Nice save from Shadow, but the bow recovery is actually going to hit. Tries to get the 3-piece. Misses the recovery, and Asmodee gets the 1v2, and it's now 2-1 to Asmodee and Chair.
Yeah, it was great. I think Asmodee knew, even though that they had two stocks, that it was very winnable, and especially with the bow spawning, which is very lovely because it's one of those weapons where, you know, you can put out moves without getting punished too quickly. And as you said, Zariel Sigs are fantastic when you're facing the 2v1 because of the way they spread and how much you know space they can take up without getting punished as well. And so yeah, and Asmodee just played it correctly and took advantage of one mishap where the fire was in the air and just, you know, bang, recovery taken out, and all they had to do was just get the downlight into the neutral air, all the recovery, and that's exactly what happened. That's it, over, done. And now we're here, game 4. Which way is it gonna go, Jerry? I can't handle it, my friend. I can't hack it.
Look, it's very tough at the moment. Chair, even with the amount of defense that he has, which every character across the board has 7 defense locked in, so they're all surviving, you know, at a good rate. But at the moment, this it's Chair. If he's able to try and
Shadow.
Yeah, the unarmed already coming out for this red team. If Chair can manage to, you know, try and survive, oh no. If Chair can manage to, you know, try and survive, keep his stocks, you know, in time with Asmodee's, then, you know, Asmodee won't have to go through a third 1v2. Yeah. So that's probably something to watch out for if you are Chair. It is a decent amount of pressure. Nice downlight into the recovery on the guns of Chair. You know, Asmodee keeping Fi away just enough so that Fi wasn't able to stop the downlight recovery from happening. Nice down sig on the bow, taking out Shadow stock. There's a Lance down sig, swiping Chair out of the way, but he does make his way back. And now there is, if this red team can try and build the damage onto Fi, Shadow just barely missing the team combo. And now Asmodee on these gauntlets trying to work out the piece, trying to fit the piece to the puzzle. The Lance side and not enough to get the KO onto Chair just yet. He does make his way back. Asmodee trying to use these gauntlets, but does get nared up to the sky on Fi's sword.
Yeah, and you know
Yeah,
what?
ooh,
Red team
nice
is doing
side
super
li-
well
side
to
air
survive,
there.
but so is Fire, because Fire is basically in the amber on their third stock still, and it's it's going unnoticed really. I think they're getting away with a lot of moves. Not really
Oh,
getting
that's a
punished,
nice axe
not really
side
getting
air.
hit by team combos, and I think yeah, they're now in the lead because of it. And Fire's doing very well to make sure that that stock is staying intact.
Yeah, it
Being that
doesn't
stock
take a
tank is so
lot for a 2v2 lead to dissipate, but it doesn't take a lot for a 2v2 lead to emerge either. As you know, both of the blue teams get sent up to the sky, Chair accidentally getting that recovery onto his own teammate. But now, ooh, the axe side accidentally hitting the teammate. Oh, nice. Shadow tried to potentially get the follow-up. Shadow is on his second stock in red. There's a Gorla downsing onto Fi.
You know what? Fi, I think Fi purposely was like, I'm so glad I'll take that for you, my friend. No, don't go down. Nice.
Oh, no. Don't go down there. Don't go down there. He went down there. Asmodi sent him down there. Shadow's on his last stock. This red team is a bit damaged. They could both Ooh, there was a bit of a taunt from Fi. Maybe a missed input. Maybe. Who knows? But now at the moment, team combo coming out. Oh, Fi actually managed to get a bit of a save. That gun side stick may have, you know, sent out. There's a bone neutral sync, and a second one is gonna KO Fi. Put him on his last stock. Shadow's on his last stock as well. This red team is running rampant. Oh my
Jerry,
days!
that came from that 5 seconds of madness, from that taunt where everything just went wrong where it could have. They got hit by everyone and every point of entry. And unfortunately, just like that, as you said, how quick it is in 2v2 for a lead to emerge and dissipate, that was the proof right there. About 20 seconds later, there's only one blue team member on the screen. And you're thinking to yourself, how? This is the beauty of 2v2s. D-Light not quite enough to take it off. Another D-Light still not quite went for the GC neutral sig, but the recovery is enough to take it off. And that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Well done, Chair and Asmodi.
They put themselves into the winners semi-final 3-1 against Fi and Shadow. We're going to see them up against Vey and Hipka later on. But for now, we're just going to work ourselves down the winners quarterfinal. And it is Elsem and Zach the Boss up against Proxy and Jury.
Nice.
This is a interesting Proxy and Jury. I believe Jury last tournament was teaming with Shock, but you know, now that he's with Proxy, it's a little bit interesting to see how these two come about. Elsem and Zach the Boss, definitely a bit of a newer team. Zach was teaming with Doggo in Winters because Ragundas was out of the country and Doggo needed a teammate, but now Zach is playing with Elsem. So after you know, Asmodi drops Elsem in, I believe it was Winters where they played their last tournament. Something to mention though from that last match was Chair and Fi last year were teaming against each other. Well, they were teaming with each other last year. They managed to get as high as 4th together. So maybe a little bit of a grudge match for Chair and Fi there to see who came out on top. And it was Asmodi and Chair. So now we're going to work our way down. We have the players at the ready, I believe.
They are here in Believe.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Just waiting on Elsem's teammate. We're waiting on Zach the Boss to join the lobby. We see here at the moment, you know, the Legends have been locked in for now, but it's interesting. I'll be interested to see where this comes about. I will probably expect Elsem and Zach the Boss to probably take this one out.
Okay.
As it looks like we have it looks like a little bit of a mishap at the moment. So it looks like Elsem is on the Rayman. We saw that in the official Brawlhalla stream, actually, him locking in that Rayman. Nice. But, you know, it looks like DeBoss on the Zuko, which mimics the abilities of a Hattori. Speaking of Hattori, we have the second one, which is what Proxy has selected. And the Akuma from Jury, which mimics the abilities of Val.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, there is a quad. There is a triple sword here. Elsem, the only one to not go with a sword. I'm seeing like a lot of sword, a lot of spear, and a decent
Yeah.
amount of lance in already these first 3 games, which seems to definitely be the meta at the moment for this
3,
Australian
2,
side.
1,
Let's
As
see
we
what
head
happens. Yeah.
into game number 1 here. Who's going to come out on top? Find out next time on Total Drama Island.
Apocalypse Island, here we come. And it started off quite frenetic and quite frantic. People just going straight in for the hits. No one's waiting around. No one's trying to feel anything out. It's let's get these guys off the stage. Let's get rid of them. Again, straight away, nice two-piece from the blue team. Picking up that nice little combo. But again, the red team are doing really well just to make sure I use those swords on his fist to just split their opponents apart. And as you can see straight away, Jury just went, listen, I'm going to knock it to stage. Boom. Oh, that side six straight out, and it's gone. First stop taken away, and the red team in the lead. And Rayman is Rayman gone? No. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the side six punish there, but not quite. Not quite.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. You know, Jury Proxy, honestly, I've got to give them a lot more credit for what they're due, because they actually have the lead here against, you know, two very proficient teams, you know, with Elsem and Zakdabos, you know, two very proficient players, especially in the 2v2. Elsem, you know, has won multiple 2v2 tournaments, and Zakdabos has been improving day by day. There goes Jury. Yeah. Nice sidesig there by Elsem following up, but it's not enough to get rid of Proxy just yet. That recovery will finally do it. Now it is even. You know, both of these blue team members, they are in the orange, but you know, you would hope that's not too much of a worry to deal with. Elsem trying to get the follow-up, but a lot of sword downlight stairs coming out from the three members that have the sword. There's a couple siders already. Elsem trying to make his way back to stage. He's trying to avoid Jury at the moment. Proxy trying to get the ground pound onto DeBoss, but no, Proxy ends up managing to get sent up to the skies, and so does Elsem.
And the side sig comes out. But Proxy's going straight in for Rayman to take him out. And again with the side sig, not quite got the read on that. The recovery to come up. Blowfish comes straight in and says, you know what, I'm protecting my partner. You know how we do it on these mean streets. But no, it's so, the thing is, what I'm seeing right now is so nice, because the red team have gone, we're going to fight together as a unit regardless of what happens, who comes in. Oh, the pogo, not quite enough, but the ground pound comes in, takes him out, and Elsem comes in with the neutral. That's got to be enough. The side air just to make sure. Jury comes straight in with a reply. Can we take out Elsem? Elsem's the one they're going to need to take out. But Blowfish says, nope, not my partner, not today. Yeah, and you know what? As you were saying, the proficiency of the team, they're coming through. You know, class is permanent, and they're showing how good they are as a team, and it's coming to the fore. And so it's not really about, as I say, it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish it. And right now, they're finishing very strongly and showing why they have the contention of going as far as they possibly can in this tournament.
Yeah, now we're seeing there is a bit of damage build up onto DeBoss and Jury as Elsem sends him into the sky. DeBoss trying to get that spear recovery, but couldn't quite find it. Jury without a weapon. DeBoss makes sure that he keeps him off it.
Yeah.
And now...
Again. Ooh, starts in on your partner.
Now the damage here at the moment is a bit even. Proxy. Oh no, the side stick is actually going to knock out the boss.
Oh my god.
Now Elsem has to 1v2. This was a little bit of a turn on the head here. Almost. There's the gauntlet side air sending Elsem off stage. He's trying to make his way back, but that spear side sig is going to get the KO here for Proxy and Jury, and they take game 1.
And you know what's so crazy about that was the fact that Jury was held off of getting an item or getting a weapon for so long, and as soon as they picked up a weapon, they knocked someone out. And I think that just tells you how proficient and how dangerous they are with those gauntlets in hand. And as a Kuma, you know, it's dangerous to get that strength, put into that strength stance. It really made a difference, because that is where the knockout came from. And you know, so we're back though. We're back. Game 2. No one's changed. Are we in the same? I believe we're still in the same. Yeah, Apocalypse, Demon Time. Let's go get it. It's 3 o'clock every time we play here. And they said, we're going to do this again. We're going to run this. Let's go.
Yeah, the complete, just getting the run back, both of these players trying to evict themselves as early as possible. And now this red team trying to, hopefully, if they can, pull off the same procedures that happened in game 1, then, they could, try and make their way back here. Oh, nice. But this blue team at the moment have to give they've been putting a lot of damage onto Jury and Proxy. Nice save there by the boss, making sure that his teammate doesn't get side-aired. But the sword ending actually is gonna get the KO.
Nice.
That nice follow-up actually from Elsem. Not enough it did get the KO, but it's now this blue team, they have the advantage here in stock count. It won't. It'll only take maybe a team combo or two, a couple follow-ups or so, for either of them to get KO'd. As the boss gets hit, that sword ground pound not actually going to connect.
But yeah, I think from this second game has just shown that with the way Elsem and the boss are playing, they've started that game by splitting them up and winning their 1v1s respectively. But as soon as Jury and Proxy come at you with a 2v2, I feel like they become the stronger team in that aspect. So let's just see if that can carry on. Because as you can see, look, if they win their 1v1 battles, Elsem and the boss are going to win this game without a doubt. And I think it's just down to Jury and Proxy just not getting split too much and not allowing themselves to get taken up too quickly. But that side take comes, and again, recovery? No, not quite. Neutralize. Still not enough.
Yeah, Jury does get sent off stage. He does have enough to make the touch. Downlight side air there by the boss is actually going to get the KO. And that sword recovery, the double knockout there for the boss. This blue team, they've really just pushed their advantage. And they haven't even had to push it a whole lot to be able to deal the damage. But yeah, they're doing really well, just getting their 1-2 hit follow-ups, making sure that they're able to split Proxy and Jury, making sure that they can't work as a team, as already Jury is already in the red. Won't take much. Down like side air. Oh, nice ending. That's actually going to knock out Proxy. The down air onto Jury. He's trying to make his way back. Avoids the down tick on the Rayman nicely. Now he's trying to sort out some more. Oh, nice. Oh, that's not going to be able to
go for the read. Pogo on the wrong person. Pogo.
Try to get the Pogo, but he actually touched. But no, it's not going to be enough as Elsem and the boss, they take game number 2. It is 1-1.
I was very, very upset before it happened that I hadn't seen one Rayman down sync throughout this whole set at the time. And then he threw one out just as I was going to say it at the end. Didn't hit. But I'm a firm believer of if you have a signature on the side that can hurt people and cause people to be upset with you by using it constantly, you should use it. I'm a firm believer of that. But as also I think there's a time and a place for it. Having said that, but Rayman's down sync is built literally for the edge for you to go, I'm coming for you. You got nowhere else to go. It's over if I hit you with this. But yeah, no. Even without that, Elsem showed how proficient they are with Rayman and why that this Rayman is the pick and hasn't gone with quite the meta picks of the lance and the spear, and using those gauntlets to keep them apart, but using those axes to get those KOs, keep them swinging. And here we are running it back one more time on Apocalypse. Here we go again. Let's go.
Yeah, the score is 1-1. Proxy and Jury, maybe it was a little bit of a surprise that they took game 1, but they are now trying to work their way through after already being after a game being taken off them, and at the moment it is a little bit more even. It's trying to figure out how they're gonna try and split the teams apart, try and build up as much damage as they can. Proxy trying to get that end sig, but he's gonna end up just getting KO'd for it. Well. The boss not gonna actually manage to be saved. Elsem using the haymaker to get the wall touch. Instead, just using the momentum of it and the movement to just manage to get the touch of the wall. Try to get that sword recovery after the nice follow-up there by Elsem, but it wasn't able to space it properly. And now at the moment, this is like unnervingly even. You know, Elsem and DeBoss are both good players on their own. And, you know, they've played very well in 2v2s before. But, you know, I'm not taking anything away from Proxy and Jury. But it's a little bit scary that it's this even. It's not as even now as Jury manages to get KO, but he does get the KO onto Elsem. Proxy sent out to the top.
Oh, well played. That was a very... I didn't notice that. He went for the downlight, and instead of going for the side air or the recovery because Elsem expected it, went for the lovely nair, and even though it missed, it caused Blowfish to go for the D-light and actually hit them in their own partner, which I think is very good. I think should not be underestimated how quick you have to think about what could happen to you afterwards. Yeah,
Zach the Boss did end up getting KO'd, so it is pretty even at the moment. Proxy is bleeding a little bit into that amber as he gets hit by that spear recovery. Downline recovery, tries to find an Ansig, doesn't connect.
Not quite.
But yeah, it is even in stock count besides damage. Downline recovery on Proxy on the sword. Not enough to get the KO just yet. Proxy trying to avoid everything. Downline side air, not enough to get it just yet. Elsem trying to get the big follow-up. And it is actually going to get one with the Nair. And now Jury on his last stock has to get this 1v2. If not, Elsem and Zach the Boss, they go 2-1.
And I think, are they going to show there's some 2v2 prowess now and show some combos, or are they just going to, do what they're doing, just chip away, which is works just as effectively. It might not be as quick, but it just gets the job done, allows you to not get hit too much. Again, missing the follow-up just there, so showing that, they're strong. They're really, really strong 1v1 players. I'm just not seeing the 2v2 output.
Hit with a side stick. Jury.
One more.
Jury is definitely a bit of a formidable player, does manage to avoid. Oh, nice sword recovery after the gauntlet downlight of all things. Probably trying to make his way back to stage, but it ends up working. Nice side tick. Try to get the recovery, but accidentally misinputted.
Oh, nice. Oh, that end of that. Zuko's foot just made it to Akuma's face just then, just about, and we've got a character swap coming out from Proxy to say, all right, that's enough of that. I've seen enough of that. Going on to the Orion. Let's go get the spear, get the lance, and we're going to show. Keeping the spear in because the sword, I feel like the sword was doing well, but it just wasn't catching. And we've also got a change from Elsem, surprisingly. Again, changing completely from the Rayman and going to sword and cannon, believe it or not, going on to the Sidra. It's not unknown that Elsem to play the Sidra at all, but what is strange is going from the Rayman and changing completely, which completely changes the way you move on the stage, and the character itself with the signatures might change how they play with Blowfish. But let's see. It's game 4 right now. Let's go.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that, Proxy, he does, I've managed to, have the privilege to face him in 2v2s before, and Orion is usually the pick that he brings out as well.
Okay.
But, it's interesting that he pulls it out now, where they're in a have-to-win situation, or otherwise they get sent into the elimination side of the bracket. So, it's a bit... It's a little bit daunting that he's trying to make the swap. Now, there goes Jury already in 30 seconds.
Can he make it work?
He's completely gone.
Oh, not quite there with the team combos again, not showing that they're not quite as proficient as they could be in getting those team combos and getting people out as quickly as possible when they have the opportunity and taking advantage of it. That down tick comes out from Proxy. Jury tries to punish again. Ground pound? Not quite. Elsem coming through, using that cannon to move across the air. But that D-light recovery is not enough from Jury. Recovery from Blowfish. Down sig from Proxy. Everyone is just getting hit left, right, and center. But Jury is the worst out of it because they are on their second stock and they could be losing it very quickly. But that breakdance was enough. Oh, no fire from Zuko.
Yeah, it is a little bit interesting that, there is already a lot of damage onto Jury. And even within those last 30 seconds, everybody was in the red, kind of bleeding towards the barbecue. As, it does look like Zach the Boss does make it back, but Lance side air, a stray one, manages to get the KO. Yeah, everyone was really in the amber, so, you know, even the smallest hit was sending people flying, and it was just about trying to get that KO, as now there's a bit of damage being brought up onto Elsem. The sword side air onto Jerry is going to be enough to get the KO onto him, put him on his last stock. And now Elsem and DeBoss have to try and close out Proxy stock, try and close out Jury's as well. Elsem trying to send Jury on a bit of a train ride with the cannon. That down sig, not enough to get the KO. Jury, does he have enough to make it back? He does get the save. Elsem misses the ground pound. And that down sig has put Elsem on his final stock. Trying to get that GC. Jury, it's gonna be his demise, and now Proxy has to 1v2. He is, you know, on a second stock, and, you know, thankfully not his last. A double recovery on the sword. It's going to be enough to put Proxy on his last stock. If this blue team can finish it off here, they put themselves into the winners semi-final 3-1 if they can manage to close it out from here. But Proxy has a Lance, and Lance is definitely not anyone's favorite. Team combo coming out, down like, does get the recovery.
Almost.
It wasn't enough to get the KO, but it's put a healthy amount of damage onto Proxy, and it's going to be enough to get the KO eventually. GC down like ground pound on the unarmed of Elsem is going to get the stock, and Elsem and Zach the Boss, they put themselves into top 8 winners side.
And yeah, and they showed their proficiency within that game, and showed how good they are when they get the chance to run wild on the stage, because unfortunately they weren't able to get those 2v2s intact and get those close combinations. And so because of that, Elsem was able to pick them off one by one, and, you know, able to just find exactly what was needed. You know, the boss was just there going, if Elsem's doing that, I'm gonna do what I need to do on my side too. And that's just how the last 2 games sort of went. They didn't find their feet as they did in the first game, where, you know, maybe they took them by surprise a little bit because they didn't think they were going to be as quick and as efficient as they were in the first game. And, you know, as that always happens, that does tend to happen when, you know, newer players or players that aren't as established in Brawlhalla tournaments happen. They get the first game because, you know, they weren't ready for it, and then, you know, the quality shines through. So, but no, that'll be it. They're going down to losers. So if their run is not done, they've still got time to go. They still could come back and get the rerun and get the revenge run. But yes, that is what's happened so far, and that was a crazy set. 3-1.
Yeah, we're gonna move over to the winners semi-final now of between Hipka and Vey and Asmodee and Chair. Which this is, I mean, it's not the hugest surprise to me, but it's interesting to see, you know, Chair and Asmodee, they've put themselves this far in the bracket so far. But Hipka and Vey, this is a huge demon that if they can, you know, get the win from here, which, you know, if you believe in them, go ahead and believe. But, you know, what is a god to someone that doesn't believe in gods? And Hipka and Vey are definitely atheists. I can tell you that much. So we are going to go ahead and wait for Hipka and Vey to get into the lobby, which they're working their way in now.
Yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to ask, how do you think this one's gonna go? Which way do you see this one going? Like,
I reckon it'll be a game 5, but I reckon Hipka and Vey just have enough to be able to get themselves over the line.
Okay.
You know, they're really good at being able to just, you know, split up the opponent's synergy and just split them up in terms of stage presence. And Asmodee and Chair at the moment, it's not like they don't have that. But if Hipka and Vey can do their job well enough, then then a lot of that will just fall apart.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go opposite. I think Asmodee and Chair do have the potential to upset this team, but I think that comes only if Asmodee is allowed to run a little bit wild and Chair is able to find that, you know, that defensive resolute and use the guns and use the axe to almost just break apart, you know, Vey and Hyper's movement and allow Asmodee to get the finish in with their signatures and stuff. and they're good 1v1 prowess within the game as well. So yeah. But as you say, Vay and Hypgar have the synergy to make this go away so quickly. But a game 5 is a good shout, and let's see how it goes. We're about to get into this one. They've left Miami Dome, Apocalypse, and Small Fortress of Lions open. Where do we think we're going today? Let's see. It's going to be Apocalypse, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah,
of course it is.
Apocalypse it is. It's definitely it's something we've talked about before. It is the favored 2v2 map. And I'll be interested to see how this goes from here. If you guys haven't seen the rest of the bracket, make sure you do !bracket. It looks like Moxies and Roscoe at the moment 2-0 up against Cheeseface and Cat. And
Nice.
If you look along the loser side of the bracket, Doggo and Raikundas have already put themselves in top 8 loser side. And a couple matches to sort themselves out. But let's get ourselves back into the action here. As it's at the moment, it's within first 20 seconds, it's interesting to see that how these players will try and sort themselves out. This is definitely a matchup that when I saw the teams that appeared in the bracket, this was a matchup that I was excited to see. This is definitely going to be a bit of a wild run, especially Doggo and Raigundas. They took Vay and Hipka to game 5. And no, trying to get the blaster recovery.
The recovery.
And Vay ended up getting the save, but the exhausted blaster recovery from Chair managed to work out in his favor there.
Nice.
That's a true combo.
Lovely.
And Chair gets the first KO onto Hipka. Oh, that Lance down there was looking a little bit devious, but Asmodee actually ends up getting her teammate out of the way. Hipka just managing to get his teammate, making sure that he doesn't get hit by that axe side air, and he gets Chair with the Lance there instead. Now Asmodee trying to work herself around. There is a lot of damage onto him. It's not going to take much for him to get KO'd. Gauntlet side air hits on stage. He's still not enough to get the KO.
What?
Spear down
comes out. The ground pound, the side air will do it very nicely. And here, Hyper's gonna have to
nice follow
careful.
up from Asmodee.
No.
They're trying to push Hipka out. Asmodee actually just gets a ground pound on the teammate instead. Nice follow-ups coming out through these players. Yeah, Beware of Chair getting the 3-piece on the blasters. They're really putting this red team in a bit of a rot. Downlight recovery by Chair. That's going to be enough to put Hipka on his last stock. Vay and Hipka really have to try and work their deuces through this.
Yeah. Wow. They have to find a way to stop them. Like I said, this destructiveness is happening, and Asmodee's been allowed to literally run wild and still on their third stock. And I think that Beware Chair has just done really well with those blasters and just getting the clean combos off, the recoveries coming off, and survivability has been really strong in this one. But they brought it back. It's even, and this is what they've done. All of their sets, Hype and Vay, they look like they're down and out, and suddenly they made it even, and then basically turn it on their head. But can they work it in this one as well?
Yeah, now it's Vay is really on this burgundy sauce on his second stock. If they can manage to get Vay out now and then try and get that team combo to Hipka, they've already put him in the amber with that follow-up there by Chair off of Asmodee's bow sidelight. And now Chair having to try and get his way around, tried to get the punish, but Chair doesn't have enough to make his way back. Asmodee can't get the follow-up either, but now Chair having to try, Chair getting KO'd, and now Asmodee has to try and get this 1v2. And now it's she is on her second stock, but she's already been put into the red. If she can get this KO onto Hipka now, she has a better chance against Vay. Hipka throwing away the spear, trying to use it to potentially disrupt Asmodee's trying to disrupt the movement. And now the Lance GC, Asmodee trying to get the read, but Vay goes under the second Sair. That NSIG not enough, but does get through it nicely. No that Lance side air. Not enough to get the KO. Asmodee getting around it. That spear down air. A second one is going to confirm it. Asmodee is on her last stock here. It's not all wraps and curtains at the moment, but it looks like the show is definitely about to close soon.
but the win condition is still there. I can still see the win condition in the open. You know, Asmodee's thinking, all I need to do is take out Hatkar and then I'll take out Vey as I get to that. And I think that is the plan. Maybe bait it out, go for Vey, and then turn around, go for Hatkar. Yep, there it is. That's one hit with the ground pound, but not quite enough to do anything, especially off the ground. But they're just juggling.
Yeah, there's nair after nair after nair on this Vey spear.
It's just not happening.
It's like 4 nairs, 5 nairs in a row. I don't know, count them, man. Just count them. Look, we're already up to like 4.
Side sig.
Not enough to get the KO just yet, but Asmodee has a chance now.
Oh, the down six, that will
on
do it.
The spear,
yeah, that will do it.
And Vey and Hipka, they take game number 1.
That is it, game number 1. And let's see if there's going to be any changes to characters or anything, any adjustments that are going to be needed. I think, you know, they started off really well as Asmodee and Chair. They did exactly as I thought they would do. B was very disrupted, and you know they had the ability to take them apart. But again, Vey and Hatkar found a way. When they went down, they flipped the switch and said, we are gonna make this our game, and we're gonna turn it on its head. And that's exactly what they did. So they need to find a way of getting that lead and holding on to it from Chair and Asmodee. So let's see. Game 2, straight back into Apocalypse. Nothing's changed. Only adjustments need to be made. Let's see if it can be done.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, Chair. Is getting hit by Chair. You know, he's getting himself, you know, caught in just these little tidbits, and you know, it's putting Asmodee into the 1v2. It's happened 3 times already that we've seen on stream, and Chair really has to try and make sure that, you know, he doesn't get himself caught into an offstage position. Nice end sig there by Asmodee as they put both of these blue team members off stage. Oh, try to get that side air, but Hipka managed to dodge through it. It's really even here at the moment in this second game. Another side air on the lance by Vey. Gets hit by the gauntlet ground pound on stage.
Nice, well played from Chair. Well played from Chair. I love that. That was such great
It's not enough to get the KO just yet. Oh, that spear recovery, not enough either. Both of these blue team members are in the burgundy. This red team really needs to try and find the KOs as soon as possible. If they're going to be able to, you know, go through. Oh, that's not enough to get the KO just yet. That's a nice recovery there from Asmodee. Now Hipka trying to keep himself off the edge.
Oh, and the ground
pound
again. Lovely. But then, just as they come back, they get KO straight away. But can Asmodee hold on to this? But will this be the downfall of their team? You got to punish it. Can you punish it? Not quite. Will this be the downfall of their team? The fact that Chair has gone down. Asmodee is surviving, but that means that, you know, Chair then automatically becomes the target for the blue team. Will they go into that and do that again? That's won them the last set, the last game, in fact. So lovely with the neutral sig. Again, look, Chair is being terrorized constantly. They're saying, all right, we know where the weak point is, so to speak. This is what we're going to go for. We'll take out Asmodee in the 1v2 as we can. No problem with that.
Yeah, Asmodee finally getting KO'd by that lance side air by Vey. And now Chair really has to try and be wary. Yeah, it's really gonna be this red team's downfall if Chair just ends up, you know, getting caught in these situations where Asmodee's gonna have to, like, solve the 1v2. It's not really the situation that they want to sort out right now, as Hipka's been put onto his last stock. The weapon throw not enough. Asmodee try to get that GC downlight on the unarmed. And now Chair just trying to keep a weapon away from this blue team. Just try and starve them of any chance that they have as they put Vey onto his last stock. But at the moment, if that little bit of an interesting interaction there.
That GC neutral sig was not what they wanted at that moment in time, but they've still got enough health to come back again. You know what, Chair, even if you get knocked out now, Chair has been so good with those quick fall downs. There's fall downs and then just going for the next move, pretending that they're going to touch the wall, using their last piece of jump, your last piece of recovery, and just it's great movement.
Yeah, the double has both of them off stage. Try to get the nair, but wait, Vey doesn't have enough. Vey doesn't have enough. No. That GCN sig wasn't going to be able to get him to touch the wall, and now Hipka has to 1v2. I mean, he's trying his best, though. Chair does manage to get himself back on stage, though. He's really doing well at avoiding everything as Modi ends up accidentally hitting her own teammate, but she does help him make his way back. Now Hipka just trying to keep himself away from, you know, any potential attack that could, you know, potentially be thrown out, but gets hit by something as Modi with a thumbs up taunt to get themselves on the board in this winners semi-final 1-1.
Nice. And, you know, I think, again, what it proves is that, you know, they said, all right, we figured out what we need to do to win this game. And we've got character swaps. The character swaps that happened the last time they won. But this time they're doing it when they lose, which makes more sense. They've gone on to the double Barbara. The crossover for Bryn, as everybody knows, from Rayman. And, yeah, they're back. That's the only thing that's changed, the double Barbara. And let's see. Barbara.
Raw. We love the double Barbara. I mean, depends on who you are. If you have a level 100 Barbara, you probably love the Barbara. But maybe this should not be a time where the Barbara should be barbering if you're a Chair and Asmodee fan. Yes. But you know, they have themselves here in game 3. It is 1-1 in the set count. As you know, just starting out a little bit. You know, just trying to see where this will lead at the moment, as Modi does get a sig hit onto Hipka, but it's really interesting to see this double spear. Hipka gets a double, but hang on, they've turned it into Hipka getting sent to the sky. You know, that was a lovely conversion from this red team. Try to get that potentially a recovery, but they put a stop to Chair's thoughts. Oh no, the NC coming out, doesn't connect.
Really focus on using the spear, and I think using that, you know, that recovery, that's such a proficient tool. That the recovery in the ground pound, it just covers so much area, both aerially.
Oh, nice GC down light there, putting Hipka away from the center stage. Bonaire Chair doesn't get a recovery follow-up, but now both of these red team members are trying to find the stray hits. Does get an axe side air. They try to confirm the edge guard. He does with a second side air. As Modi does get punished for that side sig by another side sig. Hipka ends up getting his own teammate, which he's trying to make his way back up now. He does manage to do so eventually. Nice axe down air. Hipka doesn't have enough to make his way back. That gauntlet side air isn't gonna confirm it just yet. Vay trying to make his way back, and he does successfully. He's gonna find it down. Sig onto Asmodee. Not enough to get the KO just yet. Asmodee does make her way back. Oh, is that gonna be enough to get the KO onto Vay? It is, and now red team are gonna have to try and get this, try and get a combo, try and build up the damage onto Hipka. But no, they make their way back now.
Nice.
Now it's really trying to figure out how they're gonna put themselves through this. Nice gauntlet side air there by Asmodee.
I think Asmodee's doing really well keeping that stock and just using that movement.
Oh, finally gets KO'd by that side air. Chair is going to have to avoid a lot here to try and not put, you know, Asmodee into a 1v2 scenario again. And Hipka is really damaged as well as Chair. Vay trying to get this edge guard confirmed onto Chair. Hipka trying to help out as well, even compared to how damaged he is. Another down air. Chair isn't going to be able to make his way back. Vay ends up getting the knockout onto Chair.
Nice,
Asmodee with a nice side sig onto Vay.
That down sig that you rarely ever see from Barbara come out and was managing to hit. Fighting off the side, the ground pound, that's going to do it. That
nice down air onto Vay. They have the 1v2 opportunity against Hipka before Vay manages to respawn back. Hipka just trying to use the edge of the stage to, you know, not get hit. Asmodee accidentally hits her own teammate. Does get the save though, as they try and... Oh, nice dodge eventually by Chair. Chair is going to have to avoid a lot here. He's keeping himself off stage.
Not quite.
Oh no.
Oh, well played, Chair. The great movement to stay in this game. That's very much needed. That Barraza defense is keeping him in the game right now, but any stray hit will take him out, and that'll be it. That hit
is going to be the one to do it. And Asmodee has to try and get this 1v2. Hipka and Vay really trying to use their movement, try and bait out as many options as they can of Asmodee. You know, hopefully if Asmodee can try and get a signature or two, you know, which especially a lot of the signatures that Zariel has, there is a lot of mobility on them. So if Asmodee can try and get a signature, it'll be very hard to try and get the punish. And it'll lead to Asmodee, you know, trying to get the option select. If Asmodee can get through it, however, that axe side air gonna be enough.
Nice.
But Asmodee still has a second stock in hand, trying to Vay priming the spear up, Hipka keeping onto the axe. And now Asmodee is really going to have to try and work her way through this from here. Does get a second unarmed recovery, keeping the weapons away. But no, Asmodee does manage to get onto his
This is it.
But a lot of damage. She's dropped it already. With that damage, the axe side air, Asmodee doesn't have enough to make her way back. And Vay and Hipka, they have put themselves one game away from putting themselves into the winners final.
Yeah, and I think it showed why they picked the Bryn and why it was so proficient, because that combo is really well known around. If you watch Brawlhalla, you know how easy that combo is to get and how quick it can turn the tables for them, as it just did. But they've gone back again. They swapped again back onto the Orion, saying, yeah, that was fun, but I think we're going to stick to what we know and stick to what we planned for this tournament and win it with this one. No change from Asmodee and Chair. They're going to come back and see if they can break up their play again and win this one, take it to a game 5. Here we are, game 4. Let's go.
Yeah, Vay and Hipka, they've put themselves in a pretty solid position. You know, they've managed to, you know, spot the red team's weakness of, you know, just trying to split them apart, you know, build as much damage as they can onto Chair and force Asmodee into the 1v2, which Asmodee definitely the best 1v1 player in the Australian region, but this is a different game mode, a whole different type of ballpark. You're not playing checkers, you're playing chess. And you can't put yourself into a checkmate position. You can't force yourself to get blundered. So at the moment, if this red team can really just hold on and try and sort it out, then they'll definitely do really well. But
I think their win condition, it just comes down to is if Chair can just keep in the same amount of stocks in line with their stocks with Asmodee, and that is their win condition. But that's how they got their game that they won. You know, Chair was in line with the same amount of stocks and managed to put out some decent damage. But I think as long as
that's a nice dodge from Chair, and Asmodee with the punish. The gauntlet side sig. That was a bit clean, bit smooth.
That was very smooth criminal, Michael Jackson.
Oh, nice bow recovery. And Asmodee, Asmodee a little bit of trouble. No, she does make her way back safely and just in time. Now, now this red team, if they can hope to not get KO'd here, you know, try not to catch a stray Sair on Vay when he's got that Lance. Asmodee, they're speaking of stray Sairs on Lance. There is one. The recovery not enough to get the KO onto Chair just yet. And now Asmodee having to try and make amends. There goes Beware of Chair. And now Asmodee trying to make sure that she doesn't get hit by anything stray, as this blue team are just trying to get the juggles in order here.
But this is good. This is a lot better because they're even. Chair is kept up with Asmodee's stocks, and right now I think it's better for them if their stocks are even, because then I think they're
there goes Hipka!
And Hippa's gone because of it, and now they're in the lead. Can they make the most of it and take out Vay as well? Take us to a game 5 as soon as possible.
Yeah, that if they can, you know, put themselves in the game 5, have the momentum, trying to go their way. There goes Chair. He doesn't have enough to be able to make it back, and he knows it. Team combo coming up. Nice side sig. Not enough to get the damage. Not enough to get the KO, but a second side air will. And now, this red team is looking at a bit of strife. They've dropped the lead. That can happen in 2v2. A lead can just absolutely dissipate right in front of your eyes. And if they can try and get the KO onto Hipka or onto Vay and onto Vay as soon as they can, but it's not looking good at the moment for this red team. It's really not looking good at all. Chair is being kept off stage, trying to get an axe side air, but it's not going to be enough. There's finally one of Hipka, but he still has a second stock. They have to try and, you know, get Hipka. They have to try and remove Hipka as quickly as they possibly can without catching any strays themselves. And now, oh, there's a nice side air there by Vey, putting Chair away. The recovery not enough to get the KO just yet. They're really trying to focus the damage.
Nice.
Side air punishing Vey. Side air punishing Chair. As Murdy has to get this 1v2 now to keep themselves alive. Put themselves into the game 5. If they can't do it here, Vey and Hipka will be going into winners final 3-1.
Just like that. Just like that. And you know, they are back into winners finals, and that is how it happens. And you know, I think again, just Chair wasn't able to hold on to that stock, and as soon as Asmodee left that second stock, Chair just got that last stock taken out a little bit too easily, got run down into the red too quickly, and it caused them to unravel as a team very quickly. But they are not done. They're in the losers. They still have a second run at the bracket. But yes, Hypecut and Vey are going into winners finals. You heard it, and it was expected. And you know, they didn't disappoint.
Yeah, that is going to be it from us for now. For the Australian side, we're going to go to a short break so we can catch you all up on the SEA bracket as well in the Spring Championship 2v2. My name's Jerry. This is Triz alongside me, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Thank you very much. See you in a bit, guys.
Yo, we are back here at the Spring Championship 2v2. I am Jerry Boy once again, and next to me, alongside me, is A-Surge. Good to be casting with you again, A-Surge. How you doing, man?
Yeah, once again, we were back here a week ago on Southeast Asia for ones, and we are back again. I am doing great. I hit a new peak in twos before I got on the mic, and that means I am so ready to be commentating twos. I really enjoy this game mode. I feel like a lot of the best players in each region for twos, you can tell that they understand the game mode as is much different from ones. So I'm very excited. Particularly for our first matchup, which is a bit of a David and a Goliath. If I'm honest, I think we have the previous champions of the Winter Championship. We have Himway and Arrow up against Serenity and GTG. Himway and Arrow, of course, they won the Winter Championships. They got reset coming from winner's side of Grand Finals, and they were able to eke it out 3-0 over Siren Vortex. So very dominant, very good team. I think we're going to see some very good twos play in this first set.
Yeah, it is interesting that, we're seeing that, Himway and Arrow, obviously, winning the last tournament. Serenity and GTG, if you're, familiar with Southeast Asia, these are names that you've definitely heard of before. They are very good players. And I'll be interested to see what they're going to lock in. Because at the moment they've just selected Thea, which is a little bit of a interesting. You're not allowed to play that character just yet. Let's calm down. But it looks like Himway is on the Cassidy. Wow, interesting. Not really something that you see a lot these days, especially in 2v2s. Arrow on the Olgrim. It looks like Serenity is on the Macho Man. GTG on the Bryn. He locked in the Lucian and then decided, nah, I want to play Bryn. So we're seeing triple axe, and which is definitely a little bit of a swap up since what we saw from Oz. The Australian region. A lot more sword, a lot more spear, a bit more lance. Right. But we're seeing a lot of axe here for game one, and then Cassidy's just sitting in the corner, just like, hello, I'm here, maybe. And first time we've seen Miami Dome already today. It's going to be this game one. Interesting. Yeah. Miami Dome, not really something that you see a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I think Cassidy makes this game very interesting because Cassidy has some of those extra true combos that are not accessible to the other blasters and hammer legends. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see if they've labbed out some really strong twos combos. We know these two will sit in the lab for quite a while, I'm sure, and work it out together. They've got great combos. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And already the red team taking a bit of damage early, but with these high attack legends, particularly on Lance and Axe, it does so much damage that it doesn't. You can build up so much damage so much earlier than you can with any other weapon. Still, though, I mean, right in the middle, Arrow is in a little bit of trouble. Between double axe, it is very scary, but the first KO goes to Arrow, knocking GTG off the left side with the Lance Sair, and already red team with a nice advantage.
Yeah, it's red team, they're showing why they were the champions of the last tournament, as there goes Arrow, getting knocked out. Himway now onto the hammer. This is going to be interesting how Himway uses this hammer, as he does get the KO onto Serenity. Now trying to chase GTG around, trying to use those nairs. It'll be interesting to especially see how Himway will try and approach his opponent, because hammer is definitely one of the weapons that you don't really see a lot these days in modern Brawlhalla. You might have seen it a bit in 2021, maybe towards the start of 2022, but it's not a weapon that really gets showcased a lot these days. As that side sig actually ends up knocking out their own teammate. But it does put Arrow onto their last stock. But GTG is going to have to be careful now. They're trying to build up the team damage onto each other. There goes Serenity with the axe side by Arrow. and it'll be interesting to see where this blue team can try and figure out what on earth they are supposed to do from here. Arrow trying to get the edge guard onto GTG. Hang on a minute. Oh, the axe down air just gets beaten out by the recovery, but Arrow is still continuing. GTG hasn't touched a piece of wall in a while. He does manage to get himself onto the platform, but he is in the orange now, and Arrow's in the red on his last stock. Oh, nice down like said. That's going to be enough to take out Himwe. And that side sig is going to be enough to take out Arrow in GTG with a double KO, and now Himwe has to 1v2.
Yeah, wow. Really tough situation for red team, though. But, I mean, to be fair, Himwe, very strong player, can definitely make this comeback. Both blue team players quite damaged on their last stocks, but as they go up high, Spear and Axe can get a really quickly KO if they're able to get some kind of end-like combo or a delayed out of it, but the side signature might just do it, and it does. Blue team with a upset early in game one, already up 1 game on the previous champions.
Yeah, that was a really quick and fiery game. And Serenity GTG, they have game 1 in their back pocket. You know, they only really need to try and take 2 more before Arrow and Himwe can take another 3. We're already seeing there is no hammer anymore. It is just double Ulgrim, 4 axes, 3 lances, and a spear. I feel like I feel like, you know, that one famous picture that I'm not allowed to mention, but it's got like, you know, one woman sitting on a couch and there's, you know, the exact image I'm talking about. That's me right now looking at this image of 4 axes and 3 lance, because I am petrified, man.
Yeah,
I would not want to be in the
these
same room as these. I do not want to be in the same room as these 4 players, because it makes me a little bit scared. Gotta be honest, I'm a little bit scared.
We're in for more of the same from the last game. It's going to be so quickly. A lot of the damage. Just such high attack weapons. And already a stock. It's been like 30 seconds. Arrow off the left side already gone. And a Himwe scared as well. These Lance Stairs. It's not a lot of the combo potential. It's just that blue team seems to just be outplaying them in the 1v1s and then finding the KOs as fast as possible. Although maybe finding the KOs on their own teammate. Gets ground pounded. But from the top hitbox of Axe, GTG able to make it back. But on the top, Serenity is gone, GTG gone as well, and again we have the same as last time, where Arrow is down on his stock and Himwe is here to stock tank on this first stock that he has. But if they're able to get a lot of damage on Arrow, this can be a nice advantage for blue team. This is where the game can turn on its head. If blue team is able to lock it down and take the stock of Arrow quickly, they can take a nice advantage. And already up off the top, I mean, this double axe, so much damage. GTG just kind of beating into Arrow, but Serenity is going to lose his stock. Arrow drops
so is Arrow.
Well.
Arrow's going to be on his last as well. This is really interesting, especially just a lot of the axes, you know, just requires a lot of stage control and just being a big no stuff you weapon to be able to, you know, get it to knockouts and be able to play the game that it does. The back end of the recovery actually taking out Himwe, putting him on his second stop. Arrow really trying to sort himself around. Now there's 2 axes and 2 lances. The lance is really good at being able to control the space and control its aerial zones, which if there are 2 lances on the screen, you know, in one's definitely lance is a little bit more gimmicky. You can punish a Sair or a Dare easier, but when you have a teammate, a lot of those weaknesses that Lance has can be covered by maybe another Lance or just another weapon in general, and that can result in a lot of interesting gameplay, as Serenity is already, you know, fully knocked out. Arrow, you know, on his last stock, and GTG has to try and bring this back. GC side sig nicely avoided there by GTG. Tries to get a GC down sig, but that 3-piece all looked confirmed is gonna get the KO, and it's gonna put Himwe and Arrow on the board 1-1.
279 damage for Arrow and 666 for Himwe. Himwe dominating that game, and I knew it was coming with the double axe, 4 axes, and what did you say, 3 lances? So yeah, we knew it was going to be a very fast-paced, high attack, and who has the better kill efficiency, because axe and lance are so adept at getting you to those KO percents, but then when you get there, that's where it becomes trouble, where you have to find some kind of raw Sair, because neither of these weapons really have a KO confirm, as opposed to the gauntlets or the sword. And when they're playing Ulgrim, you have 2 weapons that are dealing with that, and in that game, it was definitely the red team who found those KOs much more efficiently. And in the third game, maybe it'll be the blue team, but definitely the blue team still playing very well. They were able to, clearly the game plan is to hunt down Arrow, right? And find his stocks as fast as possible and then deal with Himway later in the 2v1, and had done a good job, as Serenity will switch over to the Orion, still on the Lance, Arrow switching, staying on Axe, but onto the Rayman. Still a lot of very high-powered gameplay, but maybe the Spear will be able to help out better for these,
3, 2,
these
1,
combos.
brawl.
Yeah, now it's interesting because now there isn't 4 axes and 3 lances. There are 3 axes and 3 lances. So, you know, it's interesting to see now that there is a spear and a sword involved. Not a sword, a pair of gauntlets involved. And they're really trying to, you know, push their way through here for now. But, you know, it's a little bit interesting already. There is a decent amount of damage built up onto GTG within the first 30 seconds. It's not going to take much for, you know, either one of them. Oh, yeah, that's going to do a GC downlight recovery. Himway, that hits and gets the KO as well. And wow, that is interesting already. Himway and Arrow, they've really evolved from Game 1's haptics. And now they're putting a decent amount of damage. A lot of these SEA players are really trying to just go big, go hard, or go home. Arrow getting sent out to the side by a Lance side air. Arrow gets knocked out by the GTG ground pound. Himway trying to make his way back, and he does. And now it's trying to sort out how they're gonna try and get the next KOs from here, as Serenity gets hit by that Lance side and not enough to get the KO just yet. Himway sent out to the side, and now, ooh, Serenity try to get the reads onto Arrow, but, you know, he manages to avoid it nicely in time. Nice side air there by Himway. That's going to put Serenity onto his last stock. Oh, the weapon throw, is that going to be, that is enough to get the knockout onto GTG. Now they lead 5 stocks to 2.
Yeah, it's the KO efficiency for Himway and Arrow that is so dominant in this game. Himway was down in a really scary position, was able to survive, and then just took 2 stocks. Finally, it loses stock, but they're so ahead on red team that it doesn't really matter. Arrow loses stock as well. We'll go down to the last stock. That is your window back into this game for GTG and for Serenity. They have to get the stock of Arrow as fast as possible, but GTG looks like he's going to lose his now, and now it's just Serenity in the 1v2. It doesn't look possible for him. Really well played game so far from the red team, and the down signature from Arrow. Well played. And yeah, I mean, Himway and Arrow, the KO efficiency, it was just better in that game. They were able to find those Sayers, those combos, a weapon throw KO towards the end there, and a switch to the Asuri onto the Katars. GTG in the comfort zone, right? Sometimes in these situations where you feel like you're not playing as well, or you getting outplayed, you get it adapted on, you have to go to your comfort, and Katars is right where it is for GTG.
Yeah, GTG really, like, he's locked into the Asuri, which definitely is a popular 1v1 pick. You don't really see it that much in 2v2. Serenity swapping straight back onto that Olgrim or the Macho Man. And no changes from the red team. It is interesting to see, you know, that this red team at the moment, they've turned themselves into a lawnmower and really turned this blue team into just a patch of grass, because they are running them over. And just, you know, just clipping them short, just making sure that, you know, they can't really do anything but grow. And when they do grow, you just cut them back down again. GTG is already out, and so is Serenity. 25 seconds in, and already 2 stocks have flown off the map.
Yeah, Himway I was about to say that Himway was dominant, taking that stock of GTG, but then Arrow just comes in and finishes off the other one off of the Lance recovery. Really smart, knowing that he's going to hit that recovery there, and red team, sizable advantage in this game 4, up 2-1. Blue team down to their last game. If they lose this, they are down in the elimination bracket, not where they want to be, and you can tell they're starting to put it on. They're starting to put on some damage, but still, they really have to take the stock of Himway as fast as possible. This is how they lost the previous game, is they weren't able to find the stock of Himway. And there it is. Another stock of GTG goes down, and Himway is still kicking. Himway is still around in barbecue sauce, just out at the cookout. It's a really tough situation for everyone that isn't Himway right now. He just can't get this KO. He finds one nearly onto Serenity, and GTG has taken so much damage. Serenity goes down as well. Himway still alive. I can't believe that he makes it back. He gets the touches. They can't find the stock of Himway. He's playing so good in this 4th game. He wants to move on to the game. Finally will lose the stock, but blue team down so much in this game 4.
Yeah, it's really been just a rampant run. This reminds me of just Jetpack Joyride, where you're just running through and you're just messing things up as much as you possibly can. At the moment, GTG is really not looking in a good bit of. He's not looking in a good spot right now. Himway getting. Oh, nice follow up there by Era. Hang on, there goes Serenity. There goes Era. There goes GTG. Serenity trying to make his way back. That Lance recovery gonna get the knockout. Does get the weapon throw. Trying to find the side air to finish it off. Himway trying to make his way back. He does. Arrow with a beautiful cover up as Himway and Arrow really showing dominance as they move through the bracket 3-1.
Wow, I feel like the strategy for Serenity and GTG there should have been to just never hit Himway. Because if you get Himway into KO %, you have lost the game. Because Himway just for some reason has hands. The second that his stock goes into red, he just starts taking stocks left and right. Really well played from Himway there. And not to say anything bad about Arrow. Arrow played phenomenally on those follow-ups, definitely. And would lose the first stock, was doing a great job of playing from these like disadvantageous like final stock and down a stock situations. So very well played from both players. As we move into our next game, we've got Jerry K and Thought. We've got Keith and Tiger. Keith and Tiger are a really strong team. Thought played very well in the last in ones last weekend, as we commentated on. So definitely a good set. We've got more Katars. We've got a Raphael, the Ragnar crossover, and we've got the Asuri. Lots of crossovers between the teams, but I'm interested to see how Katars are going to mash up into these combos.
Yeah, speaking of crossovers, it's Keith is the only one that doesn't have a crossover, because Thorot has locked in the Stevoni, which mimics Val, and Jerry K has locked in the Zuko, which mimics Hattori. Obviously, Jerry K definitely known for playing a lot of that Hattori. Thorot, we've seen a lot of him on Gauntlets. We saw him on the Aang a week ago. Tiger, I'm surprised there's no Koji of anything, but he's sticking with the Raphael, and Keith, they're keeping onto that Asuri, which I'll be interested to see where this goes from here. This is definitely gonna be a rightful match, which if you already saw the first piece of action, then you're definitely ready for this one. It's gonna be interesting to see what how this plays out. Definitely two Katars for this blue team, which not the easiest to do a lot of follow-ups with, with your own teammate with Katars, but they're definitely good at in a 2v2 is just keeping an opponent busy. If you can use your teammate as like a corner or like a wall, and then use the edge of the stage as the other wall, then you're able to, try and get your side light down lights or your side light end lights. And it really does, try and buy you that time and try and just keep your opponent within like a small area. Try and keep them restrained and try and make sure that they can't move. Katars in its advantage state is really, really good. And that's definitely what, maybe that's what they're trying to use with their double Katars. If not, maybe they're trying to use the axe and the sword for definitely a lot more team combo positions. They're both Asuri and Ragnar have definitely good SIGs for combos. And it's going to be interesting to see how they go from here. Obviously, Val and Hattori, that's a team composition that, it's been played a lot between a lot of different regions, so it's consistent and it works. And it's just a matter of, being better than your opponent, trying to use those team combos to your advantage.
It's definitely the typical team comp, right? Your Val Hattori versus something new, this Asuri and Ragnar. I definitely think Katar's a bit underrated in twos a little bit, just for how strong they are in 1v2s. right? In a disadvantage, I think guitars are probably one of the best 1v2ing weapons in the game because a lot of their
Three, two,
moves have
one,
very
brawl.
low frames in which the other player can come in and punish. You can squeeze them both into a side light and then get good follow-ups off of it. Nair will hit anyone. So I think maybe look out for some comebacks for the guitars on either player, but definitely looking at the combos for the red team. And so far haven't gotten too much off of it, but double sword, I mean, any hit will just move right into it. Although blue team with sword and axe could definitely get one too, as Jerry is taking a lot of damage so far. It's a little bit of a struggle for red team at the moment. I mean, the only one that hasn't taken a lot of damage is Tiger, and already off the left side of the screen, blue team with a nice advantage. Tiger's still not that hurt on this first stock. And man, these combos, it's a little rough for red team at the moment. Blue team just seems to be able to find them so much better in this first game so far.
Yeah, it's they've really managed to, you know, get that early KO onto Jerry K, and that Qatar recovery is actually going to get the knockout onto Thodot as well. Oh, Tiger actually accidentally gets his own teammate, and it results in his KO in the process. It's interesting. There are 3 swords, which, you know, we saw a lot of sword in the Australian region. Definitely, sword is a pivotal point of end for 2v2s and even 1v1s. It's definitely an easier weapon that you can use. You know, just try and use your end lights to poke as a team combo comes out. The Ensig not actually managing to connect, just a little bit too damaged. Didn't quite get the spacing right. Try to use that side sig, but didn't end up connecting. It ended up resulting into the offstage variant. Keith trying to send Jerry K up to the side. Does get that Qatar recovery, not enough to get the KO just yet. Nice punish by Tiger, but Keith is knocked out for the result of it, and now it's still even a piece here at the moment.
Surprisingly even game for Jerry K losing his stock so early, and the red team has made a sizable comeback in this game so far, and already looking to find, I mean, it's the combo ability of these two. That's what you're able to pick up these games. It's the difference maker sometimes in games like this where you're able to turn games around with just like 1 or 2 stray end lights turning into a full stock or a significant amount of damage. Already the end light, but no follow-up. Red team still feeding for this Tiger stock while also trying to build damage onto Keith. And blue team pretty much the same thing, although Jerry K is quite hurt on this final stock, whereas Keith not hurt that much. Tiger, what? Finds that KO somehow. I can't believe that. What a ground pound from Tiger there. Really well played off stage, and now red team in a really disadvantageous position.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage onto Tiger, which they can't get that KO just yet. And it's a sword nair from off stage that ends up getting the knockout for this red team. But they're going to have to try and build a lot more damage as Jerry K is already in the red. If they can try and put Keith in a bad position, try and, you know, force the 1v2. Tiger's just lagged off the stage, and now Keith has to 1v2? Well, that's not going to be good for the mental.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Keith has to play his way into a 1v2. I mean, I did say guitars are very good at this, and red team are both quite hurt. Daily recovery is not going to do it. Apocalypse, high ceiling in the game. Definitely good situation for Keith right now. Still, recovery not going to do it. And a really tough position for Keith right now. Completely disarmed, and like going to send him off. And only has the dodge left, able to make it back. Red team does not want to contest the wall. They feel like they can just play this game of end lights and the ledge traps with sword so much better, but able to snip his way in, but the side signature is going to do it. Yeah, close game.
Yeah,
there
was a lot of, unfortunate SD. There was a lot of damage onto Keith, and, you know, especially when that 1v2 happened, it was bound to happen. Looks like Tiger, you know, just trying to reset the internet for now. That definitely can happen in online scenarios where, you know, your internet may just not want to work. It's like, oh, you're playing in a tournament? Yeah, you're not gonna work today. Looks like Tiger is back here. Yeah, Tiger had completely disconnected from the game. Just looking at in-game chat, according to Tiger. But as we head into game number 2, it looks like we're having a different character selection from Keith. It's the Brawlhalla, which is interesting.
Yeah, double axe maybe?
Never mind. Back to Suri. He was like, "Ooh, Brawlhalla. No, I want funny cat."
Funny cat. Yeah. I think for blue team in that game, it feels like they maybe got robbed because they were doing very good in that game prior to the SD. So maybe just sticking the same characters, not changing much. And if that doesn't happen, right, no DC, no SD, then blue team, maybe they feel like they can win this one. Probably realistically back to the same map if I had to guess on the Apocalypse, but who knows? Although I think I've said this before, but Apocalypse and Fortress of Lions are very, very similar maps. I think the only difference, onto Fortress is Fortress has a slightly lower ceiling. You can't go from one end of the wall to the other through the bottom of the screen, and the platform doesn't move. But really, the platform height is the same, the size of the walls is the same, and the blast zones, even like the ceiling, is pretty much the same as Apocalypse. So right back, pretty much the same map, more or less. And blue team feels like they should have won that game, but oh no, this is not how you want to start this. A really nice combo. They're not gonna find the KO, but that's a lot of damage. I feel like they could have found a KO out of that, but ooh, Keith in trouble, but no, he caught his recovery cut, but because he recovered along the side of the wall, it didn't matter. He was still able to recover and make it back. And now blue team has to try to play their way out of a really rough position that they have found themselves into. But Jerry K not going to find it. Really high ceiling of this map. Again, it's trouble for finding the KOs, but red team is going to finally be able to do it. The side
gracious me.
Red team
what a start already. Yeah, 30 seconds gone. We've seen a team combo and 2 knockouts from Jerry K. I mean, it's already happening. This red team really doing well at the moment. Thodo kind of already bleeding into the orange, so he's got to be careful not to get hit by any stray recoveries, any stray sig. Down low recovery, that's going to end up getting the knockout onto Thodo. But now Jerry K has to try and work his way back. You know, he is he's the only one with an advantage in the stock can at the moment compared to anyone. And commentators curse on that one because Jerry K just got sent flying by an Asuri down sig. And now it's looking an even game, even though Ensig coming out only hits one of them, but Tiger isn't looking great. He has a dodge left, gets saved by Keith. Thodo does get it down like ground pound, but it's not enough to get the KOs just yet. Sword recovery, nice chase down by Thodo. That's gonna get the KO. And that spear down sig, not enough to get the KO just yet. Maybe if you sent him the other way, that would have looked better. But yeah, at the moment, it's a lot of the team combos that this red team has that it just looks really nice. Keith missing a recovery. He does have enough speed and momentum to make his way back. Downlight side air actually doesn't hit his teammate in the process, which really worked out well there for the red team. A lot of damage been put onto Thodo and Keith as well. So watch out for KOs from them soon. There goes Thodo, and there goes Tiger. Tiger is already gone within barely 2 minutes.
Rough game for both teams. Red team got it started immediately with that combo, and Jerry K, and they did so much towards the start. It's a really rough position for Keith and Tiger at the end, and has to play their way into a 1v2 where the red team has 3 stocks to Keith's 1. Already into the orange. All they need is one of these end lights, maybe a signature connection, because surprisingly the signatures from both of these characters are also great for starting combos. And although it's probably not as preferable to the neutral lights or down light combos, still definitely very good for it. And maybe they might just try and work on their combo game here, as Keith already into the KO %. Downlight recovery off the platform is going to do it. Red team takes a 2-game advantage on Keith and Tiger.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the advantage. There's no swap here from this blue team either, as that was a very quick and very dominant game from Thodo and Jerry K. It didn't seem like Keith and Tiger had a lot. They didn't really have a lot of chances that they could get through to try and push through. You know, they didn't have many chances against Jerry K and Thodo. As we go to the same map again here for game 3, if Jerry K and Thodo can get the 3-0 sweep here in the top 12, that'll be more than impressive.
3, 2,
yeah, Jerry K and Thodo are playing so well. I mean, the first game a bit of a bad internet, but the second game was just dominant. I mean, they got started out swinging so far. So Tiger and Keith, they have to make some kind of adjustment to turn this into a good game. But already a little bit of combo potential getting started. Tiger taking a bit of damage, a bit more than he would like to so far. And Jerry K and Thodo, I mean, they just move the momentum back into this third game. They're getting nice combos. They're finding these straight hits and taking an advantage and just kind of running away with it. It feels like Tiger and Keith have not been able to find their way into this game. A D-Light Sair gonna send Tiger fairly far. Able to make it back to center stage. Blue team with some nice stage control here. Might be able to find something, but no. Side signature from Jerry K is gonna do it. And Keith is gonna lose his stock as well to Thought. And man, Jerry K and Thought playing so well, playing out of their minds in this series so far. Already up a full stock, basically 2 full stocks in this game 3.
Yeah, you already saw it, that especially in that second game, and you see it now with the first stock flying in this third game, that, you know, when one blue team member flies, or one member flies, you can expect a second. Usually you don't know which way that's going to happen. There's a side sig there from Tiger. Keith does get the recovery. Thought trying to go for a second offstage side sig. He does manage to make his way back, but an axe sider keeps him ground, keeps his mental grounded. As now Thought does get hit by a side air on the Katars. Thought trying to make his way back. He does get a stray nair, I should say. As recovery, not even enough to get the K onto the Stavani. There's a lot of damage onto this blue team. Thought really just hasn't been able to get KO'd as of yet. Team combo. Oh, Jerry K just missing that downlight. Very smart idea, though, to be fair. Downlight recovery on the sword is going to be enough to get the KO. And now Jerry K does get a side sig onto Tigers. Put him on his last stock. Downlight recovery onto the gauntlets. Not enough to get the KO just yet. Keith has to fight his way through. He does get sided. And now Thought is trying to get this head guard. Keith makes his way back. Downlight recovery on the GC is going to be enough to get the KO. And now Tiger has been put in a monumental amount of strain as he's been putting the orange on his last stock almost immediately. He's off stage. The ground pound connects. Stocks are flying left, right, and center at the moment. Keith has to take out 4 stocks in this 1v2 to just give this team a little bit of hope.
Oh, wow.
And he can't even do it. Oh my lord. Pure dominance coming out here from Thought and Jerry K as they put themselves into the top 8 winners side. Oh wow. My word.
I think well played set. They just locked it down. Game 1, maybe it was a little bit closer, but games 2 and 3, it was all the combos. And yeah, you said it. They would take the first stock, and you would see one go, and then the other one would go flying too, because somehow they were able to find both those KOs, which means they weren't able to find these like 1v2 situations or 2v1 situations for Jerry K and Thought. But it doesn't really matter if you're finding the stocks. You don't mind. So very well played from both of them, and a really dominant set as they move into the winners side top 8. Congratulations to them. And our next set, we have Sire and Vortex, and we have Polox and Sphinx. No legend lock-in yet, but definitely a good set coming up.
Yeah, it is interesting. Sire and Vortex, seed number 2, I believe, in this tournament. And it's interesting to see, you know, they're going up against Holox and Sphinx. Obviously, I've seen Sphinx before in 1v1 tournaments, especially ones that I've casted. I believe he's gotten a top 3 in one of my tournaments, but it'll be interesting to see how he performs from here with Holox in the 2v2s. Sire and Vortex, obviously, it was Vortex and Reaper that was the team comp for a long time in the Southeast Asian region. And, you know, Vortex and Reaper, they were dominating, essentially, a lot of the time. But now they have to figure out what they're going to be able to do with, you know, Vortex now is no longer with Reaper, and he's now with Sire instead. And it's interesting. I'll be interested to see what happens from here. It looks like Vortex is locked in the Macho Man, which we've seen a lot of those today. The Kaya for Sire. I love how that rhymes. It looks like everybody's locking in. They're going to do a button check first, but we are going to see... yeah, it looks like they're most likely going to go through a button check first, as well as an internet check, which all the players seem to agree on that. Sphinx, he's locked in the cross, which I've seen, you know, Sphinx play a bit of Scythe, but definitely a lot of gauntlets. So this cross pick, or the Luke pick, which is the crossover he's using, definitely doesn't surprise me. Holox on to the Bryn, however, or the Eivor, doesn't exactly surprise me either. They're just going to do a quick button check really quick before, you know, they follow through with anything else. So I'll be interested. What do you reckon will be the result of this in your eyes, A-Surge? Because I'm gonna be honest, for C2, my money is gonna be on Macho Man and my money is gonna be on this Macho Man and Kaya. It's the I was gonna say Himwe for a second, but no, Sire and Vortex. That's where my money is gonna lie for now.
Yeah, and I think I'd probably agree with you, although I think we're gonna get a good game. And something that I would say is fairly interesting. So the gauntlets got changed, right? Where down air and neutral light send at different angles than the way they used to, right? Neutral light sends higher, and down air sends way more vertical. And so in twos, I believe that was intended to be a twos nerf for the weapon, because pretty much every event was double gauntlets all the way to top 8. And I think it definitely worked, right? Because it's a bit harder to follow up off of gauntlet down air, which was definitely a great starter before, except for spear. Most other weapons struggle with it, but all of a sudden this gauntlet down air puts them in the perfect position to get spear delighted. And if you can kind of move the way you place it properly, you won't even hit your teammate. They'll get a nice follow-up for it. So I'm excited for this Luke and Ivor, I believe. I'm not sure if I've ever locked in this legend, or the crossovers. I don't know if it's pronounced, but the Bryn and the cross. I'm excited to see some of that spear and gauntlets, and obviously Blaster's gauntlets, a really strong combination. Could find stocks just like that. So between the two, I definitely think they have some KO power and a lot of great combinations. If they're able to find those startups, that's the important part. These Blasters end lights, these Blasters dares, Gauntlet dares, and Gauntlet end lights into a follow-up from the Bryn. Whereas for the red team, it's probably going to be more of these like taking better 1v1 situations, because although Kaya definitely a great legend for twos, and Olgrim as well, the weapons don't really pair that well together, although they probably have labbed something out in training. So I would not put it past them to have a really nice combo set up for the two of them. But already building up nice damage. Both teams kind of comboing each other a little bit, but so far the person who's taking the most damage is Sphinx, in a bit of trouble. These Blasters now wants to play a little bit more passive on the wall, but aggressively jumps in with the D-Light. And I mean, just splitting up into these separate 1v1s, not looking for the combos just yet. Off the bottom, Sphinx gonna lose a lot of options, able to get the dodge back, but then the dare onto Sire, and able to find the ground pound, completely turns that situation around. A nice reversal from Sphinx. Sire just loses his stock immediately. Now Vortex trying to make up for it, find that stock, but Sphinx still healthy. No, gonna get nared up off the top of Apocalypse. And, ooh, man, that was a scary situation for Vortex. Man, no options left, and GC end lighting off the side, but gets hit up. And so far, still a fairly even game, but Sire's taking a lot of damage on the second stock.
Yeah, which is a little bit surprising because, you know, Kaya does have a lot of defense. Probably has the most amount of defense out of anyone that is on the stage right now. Maybe except for, the Owl coming out actually ends up KOing their own teammate, which, Holox and Sphinx at the moment, they've actually done really well against Sire and Vortex. But at the moment, if they can manage to, you know, just hold on to their stocks, try and get rid of Sire as quickly as possible, and that will do it. A recovery off the top. Now Sphinx trying to get a read here, does get a sidelight recovery, but try to get a second GC, and it's gonna not result in the KO just yet, as both of the red team did what they focused on the center, focused on trying to get that team combo, which is a little bit of it is interesting in 2v2s, but you do find that, especially with in 2v2s, you know, when one player gets sent off to the side, they don't really try and go for the edge guard, but you'll find that a lot of the time in high level play, they will just, you know, revert themselves back into the center and try and put pressure on the person that is still on stage, try and build up as much damage as they possibly can, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then, you know, they have to try and make sure that they can get as much damage as possible before the teammate can manage to get back, which you're seeing it a little bit there. Both of the blue members try to put pressure onto Vortex, as Sire, even though he is on his last stock, is really trying to get this KO as much as possible. Sphinx has been put on the edge. Sire trying to go for a ground pound. Oh no, the misinput down like ground pound there from Vortex. Sire ends up hitting his own teammate. There's recovery is going to punish Sire. Finally, his last stock flies, and now Vortex has to try and complete this 1v2. Sphinx is trying to take the backseat at the moment. He does get a sidelight, but reverts backwards. Hollox really trying to make sure that he doesn't get hit too much, trying to, make sure that Sphinx is not damaged. Hopefully they're at the moment, they're just trying to go for the chip damage. Hollox accidentally hits his own teammate. The dodge caught, but Hollox doesn't do anything with it. Vortex trying to keep himself away. Sidelight air, can't find anything else from it though. Danzig doesn't get punished though. And now both of these players, they're trying to revert themselves away. Down is, but can't get anything from it. Hollox hits his own teammate as Sphinx gets the recovery. There's a sider on the spear. Down air, that's going to be enough to do it with the weapon throw, confirming it as Hollox and Sphinx take game 1.
Very close at the end there. I mean, Vortex almost did it. I mean, both Hollox and Sphinx were pretty hurt on those last stocks, but able to close it out with the weapon throw. Definitely uninteresting. That's not how I thought that game was going to go, but Hollox and Sphinx played very well. I mean, they were able to find Sire's stock so quickly and turn it into a 2v1. And Sphinx was very hurt on his final stock, and it felt like didn't get hit for the last like minute. Just very good job of stock tanking, of avoiding, and when you're in that situation in twos, what you want to do, you want to be in the corner, you want to play around the platform on Apocalypse or on Small Fortress, and pay more attention to follow-ups than to being the aggressor, and that's exactly what Sphinx was doing. He was doing a great job of playing that like stock tank situation, and they were able to find the stock of Sire. So hopefully looking for more of the same in the next game for the blue team, whereas the red team switched to the Orion, the Black Knight. Again, another switch to the Black Knight. I really like seeing this. I think it's a really like one of the better crossovers in the game. Just looks nice. Just feels right for the game and for the esports in particular of the game. And already, I mean, building up some nice damage, sizable stage control for red team. This is a pretty big deal at the start of the game. If blue team isn't able to find the weapon, they finally can. But red team had a nice position at the start, and already they built up some nice damage onto Sphinx. What they want to do, they were able to do this in the game previously, is build up a lot of damage onto Sphinx, but they couldn't find the KO. That what they have to do this time is find the KO. It's so close for them, though. Hollox taking a lot of damage, too, though. And, I mean, either of them, if they find the KO on either, it would be a great situation for them. And, I mean, Vortex is not taking much damage, like, at all so far. A really great game for red team so far. Although, Sire in a really tough position, but the save comes in from Vortex. A nice down signature. Sire makes it back. And now up the top, double recovery. Hollox is gone. Nice advantage so far. Game 2 for the red team.
Yeah, this is exactly what this red team were looking for in this game too. They didn't really have it in game 1, but they're definitely pushing their advantage a lot more, keeping, winning their neutral games. As a double spear ground pound is enough to get the stocks. It is definitely a lot closer, a lot more even here for Sire and Vortex, but it's interesting that, they had the lead for a while. They pushed their advantage, especially when they had both of those blue team members off stage. And now they're going to have to try and work their way through here.
Oh, wow!
All the
so
team
good.
combo!
That down signature was so good. I caught both of them from the front and the back and put them right into the Blaster's recovery. Really smart decision there to not go for some kind of N-Light or D-Light. And now, really tough position for the red team. Vortex able to survive, and now Hollox in a scary position. Stage control for the red team. If they can find one of these KOs, they could turn this game into a very strong position for them, but no one able to find these KOs so far. Everyone's surviving as long as possible. Still finally able to find the stock of Sphinx, and now Hollox in trouble. But the side signature, Hollox just reverses the situation, and now no dodge, double D-Light recovery. No, Sayers into the recovery. Sire able to survive somehow. Just a really tough position for red team, though. If they could find the stock of Sire, it would be so good, but it doesn't. And now red team with a small advantage. Sire, if he's able to stock tank, it would be so good for them in this third and second game.
Yeah, it'll be more than merry for them, but Sire finally gets hit. Just a blast there of the side sig on the Luke, but the cross at the moment, it's not looking good for him, as he's going to have to, as Sphinx is going to have to try and avoid a lot of attacks just at the moment, as Hollox is already in the red. Almost both members getting sent into the same direction as Vortex try to find that follow-up, but Sire is going to be the one to do it. And it is now 1-1 here in the set count.
Man, Siren Vortex, what a scary position to be in for just a second there. It's just the game was on like a knife's edge for just a moment where everyone was in KO percent, but no one was losing their stock. And finally, Siren Vortex were able to come out on top and then move that momentum into the final stocks and take it out. So a nice adjustment, a nice comeback from them in that game. Very even from the start, all the way until Siren Vortex were able to just find this small little advantage and take it out. And it really is the little things at this top level of play sometimes. Just whoever can find that KO first in that situation can win the trades. And that's what they're going to look to do in this next game as they try to build up some nice damage onto Sphinx. And already catching the dodge all the way down at the bottom of the screen, Sphinx able to make it back close. Demon Island, a very scary map to try to recover on, but Sphinx somehow able to find his way in, sneak it through, and now trying to build up damage on the red team. But still, I mean, Siren Vortex, even though they're not finding these KOs, they're in a nice advantage because they're building up so much damage. Although Holok's a nice axe combo, that's a ton of damage going on to Vortex. Vortex in a really scary position. Delete recovery, not going to do it. And on the right side, Holux and Sire just battling it out, but Holux finds the weapon throw. Sire making his recovery. Delete Sire is not going to do it onto Holux. And now again, everyone just in KO percent, but no one able to find this KOs. Whoever's the first one to do it might take the advantage in this game that they can just run to the final stocks. They're not going to do it. No follow-up off of that end light or the Nair. And now Siren Vortex going to try to 2v1 while Holux tries to recover, but he doesn't have enough options. And Sphinx up off the top, Siren Vortex take the advantage in this third game.
Yeah, it's even though there is a lot of damage built up onto this red team, they're doing nicely to, at the moment, just hopefully try and avoid anything as commentators curse once again. Make that +2 as this blue team, they have evened it up. Even though this is, you know, C2 with Sire and Vortex, they are really putting this red team under their paces. You know, it's 1-1 at the moment, and damages and stocks are even. At the moment, it's really interesting to see them play this out and play through it. A couple dares coming through from either party, but as they try and build up the damage, that's a nice end light there from Holux to try and send Vortex out to the side. There is a lot of damage onto Vortex, and it's building up onto Holux as well as he's trying to go on to the unarmed, but oh no, accidentally hits his own teammate, but you know, trade for trade, eye for an eye. Sire is trying to put Sphinx out to the side, gets Holux. Sphinx trying to go for the save, but it looks like Vortex with the janitor cleanup as it's looking good here. It's just, you know, what happened in the first set of stocks is happening in the second set of stocks as they try and go for the team combo. Sire with a little bit of an awkward follow-up. That down late recovery is going to be enough to get the kill. And now looks like Vortex trying to take someone onto a Lance ride, but yeah, at the moment, there is a lot of damage built up onto Vortex. He's going to have to try and survive here. Sphinx has just been put into the red now as Holux. He's trying to make his way back. He does make his way back. He does hit his teammate with a recovery, though. And it's interesting. There's a ground pound coming out. Sphinx is gone. Holux is going to have to work through a lot here. Gets hit by the weapon throw. Sire gets hit with a weapon throw, and the taunt comes out from Sire as it is 2-1 in favor of Sire and Vortex.
Yeah, Sire doing such a great job with that bow finding the SKOs, particularly when they were all in KO percent on the second stock. Sire just came in, dared one, dared the other, clean up for Vortex. Really well played there, and it was enough of an advantage to move into that final stock and take the game out with it. So Sire, I mean, that might be the difference maker in this set entirely. C2, I mean, they're C2 for a reason, right? They can find these KOs really effectively, particularly with that bow, which is a little surprising because it can be a weapon that struggles with it sometimes. But Sire, I mean, if you watched him play, you would not believe it. Clearly very good at finding them. And blue team needs some kind of adjustment. Still onto the blasters, but it looks like the Barraza is going to come out for Sphinx, sticking to the Bryn for Holux, and maybe still trying to find these blasters spear combos, but double axe such a potent weapon comp that might be enough to turn this game around, find the damage much faster, because particularly with double axe, right, if you can get this end light, it's a side light nair into a recovery, it's just like 4 hits, but it's so much. It can KO, it can build up like a ridiculous amount of damage to put them in KO percent. If you start a game like that, it puts you in a nice advantage. So if they can find some early stocks with this double axe, it would be such a worthwhile switch for the blue team. But I guess we'll have to see red team on the double spear with bow and lance as secondaries. Still going to look for a lot of these combos, but maybe not as much because the starters are not as effective. Maybe still be able to find some stuff with the Lance and Lights, but Bo not great for following up or being involved in twos combos pretty much at all. You really have to lean on the signatures of Kaya, particularly the D signature, the down signature for Bo is mostly what you have to do. So they're probably still going to be building up damage at separate 1v1s and then fighting the KOs as a team together, which is what they were doing in these previous two games, just running at them when they were in KO percent, trying to 2v1 someone and find the stock as fast as possible.
Yeah, Sphinx has made a swap here, which I find interesting. He's going for an axe instead of the gauntlets, and he's gone onto the Barraza instead. We're definitely seeing like a lot of axe, a decent amount of blasters. Lance and spear covers that as well. But yeah, it's interesting to see this at the moment with Sire and Vortex. They are 2-1 up as we're gonna go to Demon Island again for game number 4. Siren Vortex, one game away from putting themselves into top 8 winners side.
Yeah, and onto Demon Island, a scary, scary map. I mean, finding the KOs. Sire did such a great job with those dares on Bo, and gonna look for it again. Already building up some nice combos onto Sphinx and Holox. Not really what you want to see. They want to get such a nice start into these games with this double axe, which is what they've started with. And already N-Light into a D-Light. Not as much as you might like, but still good damage. A double axe really potent for finding high damage between the two. And onto Lance and Bo, not great combination of weapons to build damage of their own, but still doing a nice job building up damage onto Holox, who's already off the left side, and so is Sphinx. And Vortex able to make it back. I mean, complete stage control for the red team. They might be able to find the stock of Sphinx, and they do. Really nice position. Not able to find it onto oh, man, they do onto Holox. It doesn't matter if you combo your teammate there because damage is not the issue now. You just want to stock tank. You want to not get KO'd. Try to build your lead as much as possible already with these combos onto Sphinx. Such a rough position. The ground pound. If he's able to find the dare, he's not tough, man. Edge guarding blasters can be such a rough position, but still such big damage built up onto Sphinx this game. A really rough position to be in for them. Finally able to find the stock, but Sire in a rough position, doesn't find the end light, and now he's going to stock tank forever. They're not going to find this. Such a tough position. Beats out the down light with the neutral light of his own on Spear, and Sphinx taking too much damage for his own liking. Finally able to find the stock, but not much damage built up on the Vortex, and a nice lead for red team.
Yeah, this lead is at the moment looking really nice for this red team as Holox is... he makes it back, but Sphinx is now trying to be edge guarded. He doesn't have enough momentum to make his way back, but it's really interesting to try and figure out how this blue team is going to go through from here, because Sphinx is already on his last stock. The red team, as you've seen, they're absolutely using their stock life to their maximum potential. Holox is already gone. They have the opportunity on Sphinx. The GCN Sig is going to be enough to get the KO, and now Holox has to 1v2 from here. The team combo coming in, and just can't find the finishing blow. Would have been a beautiful sight to see, and Holox is... oh, hang on. What in the world happened there? Holox is trying to make something out of nothing, but it's not looking the greatest for him. Downlight and light, not enough to get the KO just yet. Sire ends up getting the KO on his own teammate, because you can. Holox at the moment is in the burgundy. Sire still is keeping Holox alive. Finally, an unarmed Nair is going to do it. Sire and Vortex have put themselves into top 8 winners side.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, just a lockdown game from Sire and Vortex. That's definitely a hallmark of a very, very good team, right? Seed 2 for a reason. When they get into a position where they can just step on the gas pedal a little bit and run away with the game, that's exactly what they do. And red team, very well played from them in that fourth game.
It was very well played from them, and we are going to go into, I believe it is our final streamed match of the night or of the morning, wherever you may be residing. It is going to be the winner of that last match, Sire and Vortex, into the top 8, and they are going to go up against Accent. Well, I believe that is that Ascent? Yeah, Ascent and Reaper. So this is interesting. Vortex and Reaper were teaming for quite a long time, and they're gonna have the run back. So this is going to be really interesting. They're having the run back here in top 8. So I wonder how they're going to be able to manage from here. It's the best of 5. If you can win from here, you're guaranteed third or better. But how will that work out? I am not too sure, but we will see from here.
Yeah. Huh. So Accent and Reaper haven't played since the Summer Championship, I believe, in 2020, where they got 4th place. So a very long time ago. Whereas Siren Vortex, as you know, placed, I believe that is second winter championship last year. So yeah, they did, down to Himway and Arrow. So again, a bit of a not a new team and a new team. So definitely interesting to see. Reaper, obviously very strong, has been for a long time. As you said, a name, playing with a lot of these top players in Southeast Asia for a while. But now with Accent, PR 24 and 25 right next to each other, which is a little cozy. Surprised they're top 8 winner sides, so they've definitely been playing very well to get here. Whereas Siren Vortex, PR 2, PR 8 in Southeast Asia, a bit more dominant, but I still think we're going to get quite a good game. In fact, I think we could see a bit of an upset here, um, out of Siren Vortex.
Yeah, Siren Vortex, they have to work through a lot here, because Reaper, obviously a very, very good twos player himself. He has the 2v2 World Champion of 21 title attached to his name, which Sire having the 1v1 World Champion attached to his name as well. Accent, yeah, definitely a name that you haven't really heard much of. I mean, I haven't even heard much of a accent. But it'll be interesting to see how they go up against, Sire and Vortex. They are PR, they are not PR, they are seed number 2 in this tournament. So, they've just seen Sire and Vortex absolutely just run down Sphinx and his teammate Holox. But how they're going to manage to get through it from here, it'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see where it goes from here. But it looks like we're having the lock-ins at the moment. No change from Sire or Vortex. Reaper locking in the Barraza, and Accent locking in on the Bryn, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they were playing against. Siren Reaper, or sorry, Siren Vortex were playing against Barraza Bryn in that game 4. So maybe the momentum just carries over and they dominate on the same legends that they were playing earlier, on Nakaya Orion. Strong combination between the two of them. Definitely going to see double spear a lot. 3 spears and 2 axes. So again, as I said for the last game, right, the blue team, this double axe, such a potent combination. And then when you have the other 2 weapons, you have Blaster Spear, which is really great at just finding these 0 to knockouts. Very, like, just from the start, if you can get a Blaster's End Light on 2 people, it is just done for their stocks. Whereas the red team, maybe looking for a bit of the separate 1v1s, but still double spear, very strong. Side light into D-light, definitely a great combination. Very fast, very hard to break up if you're not in the best position for it. So gonna look for more of the same. Definitely probably gonna run at them when they're in KO percent. Once again, Sire with his bow, we know the KO efficiency coming from the red team was very good in that last set. Probably gonna be more of the same in this set.
Yeah, we'll definitely see it from here as we hope to go into the map bans now. Uh, yeah, we're going to go into the map bans now, and it'll be interesting to see. There's 3 spears on the line, and it's 2 axes. I think this is like one of the first matches where well, even last match there wasn't that many axes, but this match definitely has its fair share of axe, its fair share of spear as well. There's 3 of them on the board. As we're going to go to Apocalypse for game number 1. This is interesting. This is not a map that we've seen like a whole lot from the SEA region. We definitely saw it a lot with Australia, but we're not seeing much of it here.
3, 2.
Yeah, and maybe if you pick it, you're looking for more of the survivability to stick around longer and stock tank as much as possible. Again, the highest ceiling in the game, I think maybe the new map might have it. Although, oh man, bit of a drop on the twos combo. That could have just been whole stocks for both of them. They probably had something completely lined up. A nice end light came out from Vortex, but nothing doing as a follow-up from Sire. And now red team, they might have had a full stock advantage. Now they have to play in a completely even game. Blue team, a nice breath of life, but still building up nice damage onto the blue team. Accent needs to try to make up for the damage that's built onto his partner. It's a rough position to be in so far, as Slide Charge signature not going to do it, and able to find it. Another one onto Vortex, and man, Reaper very well played so far, able to just turn this game around with just a couple signatures.
Yeah, that's really what can happen, especially in 2v2. You know, you have a lead or there's no lead at all, and all of a sudden it just gets dragged and dragged and dragged. And we're seeing a little bit of that dragging at the moment. Already Sire is in the amber, and if this red team can't find the stocks onto this blue team quick, they do find one onto Reaper. Now they have to try and find one onto Accent. And now it's really about pushing through, seeing how far they can get. Already there's a bit of damage onto this red team. Accent is doing really well, actually, to survive from here. Oh, that was a nice side air turnaround, trying to punish Vortex for going for his punish. Oh, no. Oh, no. Finally, Accent goes, but Sire is in the barbecue on his second stock. It looks like Vortex is on his last. And this blue team, there goes Sire finally. It is a 2-stock lead here for this blue team. They're really doing well, and they're actually pushing their advantage. They're keeping the damage as fair as they possibly can. It's interesting to see that it's playing out in blue team's favor right now in game number 1.
Yeah, blue team like a lot of these pickups are so good for them, and a bit of a miss. I mean, Sire really wants the KO onto Reaper right now. He really has to find this. The neutral signature is going to do it. An Accent might go himself. No recovery. A high recovery, uses dodge early, gets sared from the Lance. And now, I mean, if you squint really hard, you look at the stocks, it's an even game, but a lot of damage has been put onto Vortex. Vortex has to play out of the corner so effectively, and the platform isn't even on his side. Finally, it'll make the move over, but they're just hunting him with this double axe. They can find this KO so effectively. Just one end light is going to do it. But still, Vortex doing a really great job of not getting hit by any of these startup moves that would be such trouble. The dare is going to push him down. Another dare follow-up, but still alive, makes the touch, dodges back, and Reaper with a commitment on the down signature. And now red team, they've got a lot of damage, but if they can find a combo here, they can turn this game around. But down signature is going to do it. Sire up off the top, and a recovery. He's going to send out Vortex as well. Accent really well played in that game 1 as they take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, they do take the lead here in game 1, which is, it's not the most surprising. We're definitely expecting a tight match between these two, but you know, when it comes to it, in the end, it's, you know, definitely there was a little bit of a lead that the blue team that they were able to, you know, push through. They got the lead, they broke through, and then they held it. That was the most important thing, you know, holding the lead and not trying to, you know, you can, if you hold the lead, you can win the game eventually. If you try and push that lead, sometimes it can be your downfall, but other times it looks extravagant. And really, this blue team managed to hold on to that lead quite nicely as we go to Miami Dome for game number 2.
Yeah, blue team hopefully looking for more of the same, just taking an advantage and pressing it slightly. They don't have to take it too far, as you said, right? You don't have to step on the gas pedal. You can just lean onto a little bit, hold the advantage as much as possible. Sire, scary position, no dodge. Starting to take a lot of hits from this Accent Spear. Still, again, but on the other side, Vortex almost able to find the stock. A save will come out, but now Accent is the one in trouble. But blue team, they lock it down. They're able to both make it back. A scary position, but still a lot of damage onto Reaper so far. D-Light Nair recovers his own teammate, but with the reduced knockback from hitting your own teammate, Accent is able to survive. And still, I mean, man, Vortex is so damaged on this stock, but so is Reaper. And whoever can find the first hit here might be the one to do it.
Oh, nice follow-up by Sire.
And Reaper is going to lose his stock. Accent trying to make a background pound, not going to do it. Now, Sire and Vortex want to press this advantage as much as possible.
Yeah, you're already seeing this red team. They've adapted from their game 1 mishaps, And they already have the lead at the moment. They're trying to build as much damage as they possibly can onto this blue team before they get, you know, smacked away by this axe. There goes Sire. Looks like Reaper is already in a bit of damage. He's been put into the amber as a down air. Tries to go for a pogo, but, you know, nothing untoward happened. Nice save by Sire, actually. Now Reaper has to try and make his way back. He has a recovery, but he's used all his options, and now he's on his last stock. Sire does get a GC down like ground pound. It interrupts the ground pound of Accent. And he's going to be put on his last stock as well. You're seeing this lead just get pushed further and further and further into the favor of this red team, which you weren't really seeing that a lot in game number 1, even from the blue team who led that game. But yeah, this red team is really just they've put their pedal to the metal, and now the blue team is under a lot of heat.
Yeah, wow. I mean, Sire playing so good. So aware off stage to find that D-like ground pound, and now such a sizable advantage for the red team as Reaper and Accent tough position. Sire and Vortex trying to find this KO. Accent will find one onto Sire. Sire onto his final stock, and Vortex will go down as well, but Reaper is very hurt on the stock. Takes another axe nair, so now at a KO percent, and that's going to do it. And that, no finish, but still, I mean, a weapon, yeah, that recovery, not going to be able to make it back. Dares him for the trouble. Will go down to final stock, but still a sizable win for Sire and Vortex.
Yeah, good win there for Sire and Vortex, but they've got to get another 2 to guarantee themselves in the top 3. But looks like the ban's coming out. It's interesting to see, you know, the map bans. SEA, they don't seem to like Fortress of Lions as much. A lot of the time, that map has been closed off. And definitely in the Australian region, you know, you leave open Demon Island, APOC, and Fortress, but, you know, the SEA, they swapped Miami Dome for Fortress in that case, and it's the second time that we're here in Miami Dome again, which it's not the worst decision, especially with, you know, 3 legends that definitely a lot on the higher defense. Oh no, Reaper! He almost got saved. He gets a chase dodge back. He does get back from all that.
How is everyone still here? What? And now they're trying to find the KO onto Vortex. So close, not able to do it, but man, I cannot believe they all made it back in that situation. So scary for just about everyone on the blue team, but they're able to do it. Reaper's still here. No sidelight D-lane, and then Accent turns on with a Sarah of his own. Red team had such a nice advantage, but now Sire has to find these KOs. He's not able to do it. Side signature will clear out his own teammate, but I mean, Accent holding onto this stock, he's happy to do so. And they're gonna try and find this KO, but I mean, Accent still in red, but the dealer recovery is not going to do it. They need to find just a couple extra hits. And meanwhile, I mean, the blue team is going to build up this axe and blasters. They're going to find these recoveries. They're going to take you to the top of the screen, and they're going to build up a ton of damage onto you because both these weapons have really high damage off of just any hit. And so far, I mean, they still can't find this stock of axe, and he's doing such a good job. And Reaper on the other side hasn't taken that much damage, just doing these follow-ups so effectively. Red team can't get in on Accent and Reaper right now.
Yeah, they're doing really well here, but Accent, there is a bit of a damage deficit between Reaper and Accent, as you're seeing that, you know, looks like Reaper, he is already on his final stock, and it doesn't take a lot for this red team to try and signal him out to try and get an early KO and force Accent into a 1v2. Both of the spear players of the red team, you know, they were put off stage. They make their way back. They are heavily damaged. There's a side air by Reaper, which now Vortex is going to have to try and work his way back here. And now, that's a nice neutralite. Oh, that is a very good spear recovery. And now they're trying to build the damage onto Sire as quickly as they can. Now it's just a matter of who can get the damage onto who the quickest. Oh no, there goes Accent accidentally running into the spear ground pound. Try to find a recovery after that downlight save. I couldn't find it. The second recovery, not enough. Accent accidentally hitting his own teammate. I keep thinking I say Accent and accidentally a bit way too much. It's the same word, for crying out loud. Nice downlight set. Reaper has to try and make his way back from here. Nice recovery. Finds the second one on the axe. Now both of these players, Sire trying to clean up Accent. Reaper is not looking at a bit of strife. That recovery, not enough to get the KO, but one more definitely will. Vortex tried to find the sword recovery follow-up, but it wasn't meant to be. Nice neutral air on the bow. Still not enough to get rid of this Barraza of Reaper. Oh, the sword side air just somehow drops against Accent. Downlight Sarah onto... Oh, no. It's all happening here. Two members off stage. Sire gets hit by a down air. Reaper trying to avoid the edge guard. The sword side air. Downlight Sarah drops it.
Nobody's getting KO'd. It's such a tough position. I mean, everyone, any straight hit will pretty much knock out anyone except for Accent. Again, the Nair isn't going to do it. The Reaper playing...
That's down who's going to do it.
Yeah,
oh, the team follow-up as
Vortex.
well. 2-1 in favor of Sire and Vortex.
Oh, wow. That was such a crazy end to that game. I can't believe that they go right back into the next one. Scary position. My heart couldn't take it. Everyone in KO %, and finally Sire and Vortex were able to clean it out. I mean, finding one stock and then the other, no 1v1 situation, nothing like that. They wanted to clean it up as fast as possible, and I think we're going to go back to Miami Dome. It feels like just a comfort map for both of these teams, and man, what a game. But game 3 there, I think that was a really important position, right? You're able to take the advantage going up 2-1 instead of going down 1-2 and you're back against the wall. No, they banned Miami Dome. It looks like we're going to get some higher ceilings unless they pick, nope, right to Small Fortress Alliance, and a bit of a wider map for these two teams to get a bit more room to play around. Maybe not as claustrophobic as Miami Dome is known to be, with only one platform to dash around, just a little bit easier to play around with. So back against the wall for Reaper and Accent. They have to pull something out of the bag and take this into a game 5.
Yeah, and what is it that they're going to pull out of the bag? Because at the moment, there isn't any swaps from either of these players. Oh, no. There goes Reaper already within the first 10 seconds. His stock was decimated by a Gimp. It's not looking good for this blue team. Their mental is going to be down the drain. It is picking up the sewer water right now. As there is actually a bit of damage here onto Vortex, but he's doing okay to survive so far. Never mind, there's a side tick. Again, there's been like 4 commentators' curses on my end, and I feel like I have to apologize. Oh, there goes Sire. Down like ground pound, and now they're trying to build the damage onto Vortex, but Reaper trying to make sure that he doesn't get himself caught in a peculiar situation. Nice target swap there, actually, by Accent. Accent has been doing really well. There's a weapon throw onto Accent. Tries to find a GC down like ground pound. What a save by Reaper!
Yeah, dude, he lost his first stock, and I think he's mad about it. Reaper has been playing like an absolute menace, coming out swinging with these blasters. Just so much damage built up onto the red team, doing such a good job so far. Reaper phenomenally since that SD. It doesn't even look like they're at a disadvantage anymore. And really, just a really good position for them to be in. All they have to do, they find a side signature again. Reaper and now Accent. Weapon throw, not going to find Sires. They give the wall up to him. Stage control, they want to be able to find this stock and then get into the 2v1 onto Vortex. But Vortex able to find the weapon. They will KO Reaper. Accent just wants to hold on the stock for a little while. Reaper going on to that last stock, but man, the amount of damage he must have pumped out on that second stock from that blasters. Put up 0 on the first one, and God, must be like 300, 400 on the second one. So well played from him so far, and now they've got a nice advantage. Accent still hasn't lost a second stock. They're going to build up some nice damage. I mean, just nice 1v1s, and that's not what you want to do right now if you're the red team, because if you take these 1v1s, they have the advantage. They will press that advantage. Recovery, he's going to KO Sire up at the top, and now Vortex, no dodge. Not going to find the KO, but a really tough position to be in. Trying to find this 1v2. If you're going to do it, Spear is probably not the weapon choice. You would rather have the sword right now. You're going to find the Sair, and Reaper does not want to take this damage. He's okay with Accent losing this stock, and Accent wants to play very aggressively because Accent himself is okay with losing this stock. If he's able to get into this 1v1 situation, that would be so much worse for the blue team. I mean, for Vortex, he will take what they'll give him, right? He'll find this Accent stock if they're not going to completely 2v1 him, right? That recovery is going to do it, and now he gets a short 1v1 against Reaper, but I mean, if Reaper just sprinting away as fast as possible, recovering to the top of the screen, he knows that is his way back into the game, but no, this is the combo, and that's going to do it. Reaper, such a well-played game 4, pulls it back and takes them to a game 5.
Yeah, game 5. I believe this is I think this is the first Game 5 that we're going to experience in Southeast Asia. I don't quite recall if we got any in the Australian region. I don't think we did. We got the first game was a Game 5, and now our last game of the stream is going to be a Game 5. Saya swapping to the level 100 Bodva. This is only the second time that we have seen Hammer this entire stream, and it's gonna be Saya it's not of all people. Saya's really good on Hammer. It's, what got him, the BCX win in ones 2 years ago. So is he gonna be able to pull through from here with the Hammer? It's an interesting swap on Game 5.
A lot of momentum for Reaper and Accent. They made such a nice comeback after losing the stock so early in that game. Maybe the Hammer is going to be able to stifle that. These, just a couple hits, we're able to do it. And a pretty solid weapon in 2s, I believe. Definitely better than it is in 1s right now. So, oh man, that could have been trouble if Vortex had gotten hit into that Blaster's End Light. It could have been a whole stock for both players, but he was able to break it up. Didn't get hit. But now, so much damage built up on Desire. It doesn't look like this character switch is the move. Still such a tough position, and Reaper's playing so well at character swapping while Accent is taking so much damage off the side. Reaper, oh man, not in a great position for blue team now. Vortex is taking so much damage. Sire up off the top. The way to play this right now for the blue team is find this Sire stock. Not able to do it. Accent's going to lose his, but finally they're able to find Sires. The lone survivor of that clash so far right now is Vortex, and some nice damage in this 2v1. Not a lot, but still enough to build up an advantage. They want to find this stock of Sire so that they're able to get this 1v2 faster. If the blue team can find the stock of Sire as fast as possible, they can build the advantage they need to win this game.
Yeah, if they can, also it's just taking anyone's stock. If they can manage to take Vortex, then that will give them even a better opportunity to try and get a quick 1v2 onto Sire, build up that damage as fast as possible, just cycle through 1v2s to try and get the team combos. There goes Accent with a Hammer Nair and a Sair onto Reaper. He does make his way back actually with the exhausted recovery. Now he's picking up the axe. That side air, the recovery, and it looks like Vortex just decided, yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it back from here. There is a lot of damage been put onto Reaper right now, and he's gonna have to try and work his way around it. Follow up, but the punish from Vortex is gonna put Reaper on his last stock. Accent also on his last. This is definitely a lot more of a dominant game here from this red team. Sire makes a GC side-light mistake, and that's going to put him on his last stock. There is a bit of a damage deficit at the moment between, there's a stock deficit between the two red members, but they are really pushing through. It won't take too much for either of these blue members to get knocked out. Downlight side air, not enough to do it just yet. The weapon throw kind of almost gets them out of options. GC neutralite. Accent doesn't have enough, and now Reaper has to get this 1v2. It's not looking good. The Game 5 is going to go into the hands of Sire and Vortex, and they put themselves in winner's final.
Yeah, they locked it down. That was really well played. Sire went down on his first stock and then just didn't take any damage for so long. Did such a great job with that Hammer. Definitely the swap. Definitely the correct decision. So very well played from both players in that game.
Yeah, GG's to those, but it looks like Accent and Reaper are going to be sent down into the losers side of the bracket. And but that, I believe that is all from us on this stream. We're gonna send you over to Brawlhalla stream. My name is that Jerry Boy. Alongside me is A Surge. Surge, do you have any final words, man?
Good luck to everyone in top 4. Hope you guys enjoyed the Brawl stream. Very well played from everyone.
Well played from everyone, and we'll see you all soon.